6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, Oh, shoot, 48. Come on, that's got to go in. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. Thank you. 62. 63. 64. 65. It's off.
Come on.
65. 66. 67. 67. 68. That's off. 69. 70. 71. 72. Is that right?
Yes.
72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 76. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. 7? Okay, well, I didn't get the bonus money. Maybe that bonus guy will give me another shot. Coming up next, my buddy, the head coach at Appalachian State. And Appalachian State men and women are going to do an event for Special Olympics North Carolina under the umbrella of 24 Hours Nothing But Net in July. Dustin Kearns is coming up. Also, the new head coach at the University of Miami, the U, Tricia Cullop, longtime friend, so excited for her to have an opportunity in the ACC. And then our buddies out of Rhode Island, Stephanie Coro and Ryan Fleming. Stephanie and Ryan are going to do what we're doing in June in Rhode Island and raise money for Rhode Island. When North Carolina has an event and Rhode Island has an event and it's under the umbrella of 24 Hours Nothing But Net, we count the money underneath the entire umbrella. But the money in North Carolina stays in North Carolina. The money at Rhode Island stays in Rhode Island. Exactly the way I want it. Check out my buddy Dustin Kearns here. Come back for hour number 5. 5 a.m.
Welcome to the live stream. My dear friend Dustin Kearns, the head coach at Appalachian State. 24 Hours Nothing But Net's rolling on, and we've got a great supporter here and a new person to our live stream. Thank you, Dustin, for being with us.
Debbie, I'm honored to be a part of this. Congratulations on everything you've done.
Oh, man, congrats to you. How about your season this year? Tell us a little bit about the success you had.
We had a great season up here on the mountain, 27 wins, first regular season Sun Belt championship, first regular season championship for App State in 46 years, 15-0 at home, the first time, I think, since, it's been a long time. We beat the Auburn Tigers. We had a bunch of players recognized with accolades. We set an attendance record here at the home center. So a lot of exciting things. I could keep going, but those are some of the highlights.
It feels like there's a special buzz going on the last few years at Appalachian State. You know, the football team's had success and it's brought a lot of notoriety. And like you said, I mean, you have done a magnificent job. You've been a successful head coach at Presbyterian, and now you're at Appalachian State. You just keep building your career, Dustin. You're going to end up in that Power 4 pretty soon.
Wow. We love it here at App State. I'm just trying to be like you, Debbie. I'm just trying to be successful. And fortunately, I've got a great coaching staff, a great administration here at App State, great fan base, passionate. And so we've just got a great thing going here at App State.
Well, I know you love it there, and I know your family loves it there, but I don't mind putting a little pressure on your AD to up it a little bit or find a way to keep you, because it's coming. And I know you're prepared when it will happen. You'll find the right place. Not that you're looking, I'm just saying, I'm excited for you for the future, for what you've been able to do. Appalachian State, you and your family, you have a special story about Special Olympics you'd like to share, and we'd love to hear it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, first of all, Special Olympics, the world's largest sports organization for children and adults with intellectual, disabilities. And so what a wonderful organization that have done so many in the local level, but also the world level. So my mother-in-law, Judy Redmond, was a special ed teacher for 41 years in the Lexington School District in outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And she is an incredible person. But I think that, you know, her service for 41 years, you know, I've told her that that deserves to be recognized at some sort of local level. But yeah, 41 years as a special education teacher, and she did different things. She a program called First Steps, where she would go, you know, into the homes. You know, she had some kids for several years, and so. What a wonderful service she did, and she loved it. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. Like, it was a passion for hers, and Judy Redmond needs to be recognized in Lexington School District for her service.
You know, I hear you say 41 years, and I think about my own experiences through public education with special education teachers, and nobody lasts that long. Nobody stays in it that long, Dustin. That is such an incredible gift your mother-in-law has, that she's been able to stand the test of all the federal and state, all the paperwork, all the stuff that comes with it. And I know she has to have a huge heart, because you can't just operate inside that 8.5 by 11 IEP. You got to be able to find other ways to stimulate students. And I'm sure she did a magnificent job. You're right. Maybe we should start giving out awards. Now that we're going to cross $1 million, maybe we can start giving out 24-hour nothing but net awards. She might be the first recipient.
Well, there's so many wonderful people that I think that give back, and you know, and certainly what you're doing. I mean, just incredible, raising $1 million year after year, with what you've done, and just keeps getting bigger and better. And you deserve an award at some point for what you've done. And I'm just honored and humbled to be a part of it this year.
Listen, we are. You know, the free throws are not the story. That's the vehicle. The platform is to share with everyone. The live stream has been absolutely a huge part of allowing us to raise more money and create more awareness. I mean, you know me, I started with an idea, and I had no idea. I mean, people keep asking me, did you know? And I'm like, no, I had no idea it was going to turn into this. But I'm so grateful, because I know exactly how the money affects families. I know exactly where the money goes. I know exactly how, in our situation, what Special Olympics and playing sport allowed Frankie to learn and achieve and compete and make healthy choices, and, you know, learn to succeed, learn to fail, but give it your best. And that's what sport is supposed to do. You know, it's supposed to help you with all those things, but it gave them confidence to be able to go to college. And that's an important thing too. You can see, like, we see confidence being developed at the highest level with your athletes when they rep something over and over, and they get better at reading ball screen coverages or whatever it is that you're teaching them. And we see the same thing with Special Olympic athletes. There's no reason why they shouldn't have an opportunity to do the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to do something here in July with our women's program, as a fundraiser for Special Olympics, and be a part of the 24 hours, nothing but net that you're doing. And so we're excited to help raise money ourselves and do something for Special Olympics. We're like I said, we're going to partner with our women's program. Our new head coach, Laura Sharp. This is talking with her. You know, that special education was an option for her growing up and outside of coaching, and so this is certainly a passion for hers too, and so that was exciting to hear. So we're excited to partner up with our women's program, and this summer when our team's on campus together in July, we're gonna do a fundraiser.
I can't tell you how happy and proud that makes me feel, because that's exactly what we want to do, is continue to reach out to others. And you reached out to us, and North Carolina Special Olympics will benefit from your event, because you will raise some money, and hopefully it'll stay right there in the local area that can help the local athletes. And you'll be amazed at the kind of friendships you'll be able to develop with some of the Special Olympic athletes and their families and the volunteers and people around the event. So I'm proud of you, Dustin, for putting that out there and wanting to do that with your guys. Because you've been around it before and you have such a servant leader heart, what do you think your guys are going to get from being able to participate in something like this?
Yeah, I think they'll get incredible perspective, and they'll also get just the special feeling of giving back, and helping people in need. And, I think that it'll just be a great experience and a great day, for our players, to spend time and also know that we're contributing and raising money for a cause, for something bigger than ourselves.
That's what it is. That's what we're trying to do. That's exactly the mission of what Special Olympics is all about. This has been a very grassroots effort for me. We have raised a lot of money by 50s and 100s and 200s, and we don't have any major corporate sponsor or anything like that around it yet. Not for the first million anyway, but Special Olympics has always been a grassroots organization. And so, we grew up playing basketball in the driveway and shooting hoops in our backyard, and that's sort of what I'm still doing. And it's worked. So it's allowed us to connect with a lot of people, and connecting through sport is so important, I think, especially for the intellectual disability community. Do you have any experiences that you've had with Special Olympics that you, a story or something that you've interacted with anyone through your mother-in-law?
Not necessarily through my mother-in-law, but because she was down in the Lexington School District, and obviously that she did many years of service before I even knew her, met her, before marrying her daughter, Brittany. But our first year at App State, in fact, it was our first couple months on the job. We did our team. That was the first community service project we did here at App State, as a program and as a new staff. First month on the job, we participated and volunteered in the Special Olympics here in Boone, and so that was a great experience. And I remember it was over at Watauga High School, and that was the very first community service project our program did, with us being here.
Well, I know there's going to be many more to come, because you're going to have a great time with your guys, and Laura Sharp, the new coach at App State, is going to enjoy participating with you as well. And you know what, Dustin, I'm so glad that you reached out, and I'm so grateful for your time. I'm grateful for your energy to put behind this, because it does require some work from you and your staff to be able to put a clinic together, but North Carolina Special Olympics will help you, and it will be a great event, I have no doubt. And as soon as you know what the date is, let me know, because if I can come up there, I'm coming.
We will get you all the information. It'll be sometime in July when our players are here in the summer, and we're excited about it. We're looking forward to it. And once again, congratulations to you and everybody that helps you do this. I mean, what you do is it's incredible, and it's admirable, and on many levels. And like I said, I followed it every year. And the amount of money that you raise, but also just the awareness that you bring, it is truly remarkable.
Well, I thank you for your kind words, and I congratulate you on all your success this year. It's a wonderful launching pad for you and your program, and I'm excited to follow. I hope I get one of your games next year. I keep my fingers crossed for that.
That would be great. That would be great. I always enjoy talking basketball with you. You're one of the best in the business as far as media and commentary, and so I always learn from you. But I did sign an extension at App State 2030 this year, so to give my athletic director credit, he did. We were able to get a great extension, and we're very thankful for that. So I did want to give him a shout out for that.
That's what friends do, right? I got your back, man. I know how good you are, and I'm glad he does too. Thank you, Dustin, for being with us.
Thank you, Debbie.
To look beyond the words of doubt, to make her dreams come true. dream so big it had no place to hide. She had a reservoir of faith and hope that could not be denied. Against the odds, she found a way to win, drawing on the strength and the courage deep within. She had to try a little harder. She had to reach a little higher. She had to run a little faster. She had to walk through the fire. She had to be a little stronger. She had to pray a little longer. 'Cause nothing is impossible, it seems, when a little girl starts to dream. So here and now the dream has come of age. Standing here in this magic moment, we turn another page. She's doing things that never have been done, and you can tell by her intensity there's more dreaming yet to come. The world will see things they've never seen. Oh, standing so much taller on the shoulders of her dreams. She had to try a little harder. She had to reach a little higher. She had to run a little faster.
Welcome to 24 Hours Nothing But Net, the U style, baby. Trisha Cullip, the head coach of Miami. Oh my gosh, you look great in those colors, lady. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
You should be excited because you have earned it and you've deserved an opportunity at the Power 5 level. You've been so successful at the Mid-American Conference at Toledo, and you're such a great player at Purdue. I'm so happy for you to be able to have this chance in the ACC.
Well, thank you. I'm really thrilled to be here, and it's been fun. I've been here for 3 weeks now, and I've enjoyed every single day.
I mean, Trisha, I've known you for so long. I hope the Miami fans know how good you are and what they're getting as you with a head coach as a leader. Tell us a little bit about your style of play and what we should anticipate.
Well, we love up tempo. You know, it's something that we'll bring with us from Toledo, where we came from. But I do think that we're going to be a team that takes good care of the basketball, that searches for the best shot. So we'll definitely push the ball. But we're not going to take just any shot. I've prided myself in coaching teams that have done an incredible job with assist turnover ratio, that put our players in great positions to score, to take advantage of their strengths. Now, what that looks like will depend on who we sign in the remaining part of the portal, because we've been very successful with 4 signees that we've gotten so far, but we're not done yet. And this week could be telltale for us with a couple more additions. So I can't tell you everything yet. I'm very, very excited about the pieces I think we could still add.
That's okay. I know you subscribe to Shoot Till Your Arm Falls Off. That's all I need to know. So, speaking of the portal, how about the Cavender twins are back? ACC fans remember Haley and Hannah and their experience the first time around at Miami. Now they're going to get a second chance. This is really exciting for all of us.
I'm thrilled they wanted to come back, and I think it was so important to them. They wanted to play together. And anyone that knows twins, any twin, they love being around their sister. And the fact that they can finish out their careers together was very enticing for them. I was thrilled that they called and said, hey, could this be possible? Because they loved being here. They love their experiences here. And our fans are so excited to have them back. And everywhere I've traveled since they said they're coming back, that's the first question I get asked is how are they doing? And they cannot wait to see them play together. So we're thrilled.
I loved interviewing them, spending time with them, because I know how competitive they are. I think they are incredible in their social media space and they get a lot of attention there. But when you look at the pure athletic, competitive hoopers, that they love the game. and you can see it in the way they play if you're paying attention. That's the part that I'm excited about. I know they'll bring a lot of attention back to Miami, back to the game, to the ACC, all of that. But the pure, just grind it out, practice in the gym every day. You got to love that spirit about them.
They work out 4 hours a day, and if you follow them, a lot of people know them just because of the social media presence. But man, they back everything up. You're right; they're competitive as could be, but they're up at 5 in the morning getting ready to work out. They're so careful about what they eat, how they treat their body, working out in the weight room, being in great condition, making sure they're getting plenty of shots up, as you and I love. But I'm just so excited because for them to come in and help us set the tone for what we want to do here, they're great teammates, they're great leaders. I'm so excited about everything they bring, not just what they bring on the basketball court.
I know you're talking about some detail about the way they work, but I want to talk about your detail because I know how hard and how long you've spent in this game trying to just advance the game, not just as a head coach, but the other roles that you've had as a leader inside the game. We start talking about what's coming next inside women's basketball. What do you see?
Well, I think the great thing overall in the nation is the popularity right now. You look at the fan attendance at a lot of games. I mean, it's been incredible over the past year. And not only that, but the exposure, the TV exposure that we're getting in our game, that's going to help attract even more youngsters to pick up a ball and get in the game and make it even better. But I'm just thrilled to see what maybe 5 years ago where we were to where we are right now. And then you look forward to say, gosh, where can we go? It was exciting to see TV contracts renegotiated for women's basketball. It was excited to see the buzz at the Final Four. I'm so excited because I'll be honest, here we want to build our attendance. We've got some very loyal Miami fans, but I know with the Cavaliers coming back, people are excited. They're excited about the kids we're signing, but we really want to build an extremely passionate fan base here. And I know we can do it. I think some people think we can't because of all that sunshine, but I tell you what, you've got to come in out of the sun sometime. And there's a lot of basketball fans here. What I laughed about is that there are a lot of Toledo fans who, gosh, guess where they retire? South. And so we're going to I teased the Cavender twins. I said, you bring in the younger generation, I'll bring in the retirees, and together we're going to build this fan base.
I just love your vision about all of it, Tricia, because I know whatever you say, you're going to do. You have served on multiple NCAA committees, WBCA committees, you've been past president, you've done so many things to help advance our game and to put our game in a position where we are prepared to take the next step. I hope that you don't have to do any more committees now and you can just spend your time on your team because I know that's truly what you want to dive into. How's all that going?
Well, first of all, I'll just tell you that it was a pleasure to help serve because for so many years I've benefited from a lot of people in the past that, boy, they worked hard to build it to something that I could enjoy in my generation. Coach Dunn even, who was a previous Miami coach. It's kind of neat to follow her footsteps here, but once upon a time she was the president of the WBCA. And so now I got to follow her footsteps there, but I hope that we capitalize on all of that here. And I hope too, I'm not on a committee for a while because I've got a lot of things to do here in building our roster, in building our fan base and in getting acclimated. We've got a staff here. I'm very excited about our staff, to keep Coach Fitz, who did a wonderful job for Katie. And let's talk about Katie for a second. What an amazing job she did with this program. I had a chance to visit with her last night at a women's event we had on campus and got a chance to meet Donna Shalala, which, man, what a great tradition here on our campus between the two of them. But I'm so glad Katie's still here. I get to benefit from her knowledge and her experience because she still maintains a position on our campus. And I'll take advantage of that to the hilt because she has such a great, vast experience of knowing all the boosters, knowing the landscape, knowing how to build it here. I have so much appreciation for her, and I want to build on that. And so to have Fitz stay, to have Lonnie and Margie, the two Dobos, stay, and then to bring with me two assistants from Toledo, Danielle Page and Jesse Ivey, who are phenomenal at what they do. And then we most recently added Muriel Page, who played at Florida, who was on Mississippi State staff. I just can't yell, "Hey, Page," down the hallway because I got two of them. The exciting thing is both Muriel Page and Danielle Page will be in the Olympic landscape this summer because Muriel is an assistant coach for the Canadian Olympic team. Danielle Page is a co-head coach of the Serbian Olympic team. So we have a great, we have some great opportunities to build some relationships there. And I'm just so lucky that I get to coach with them. So from the coaching standpoint, we're almost done rounding out the staff. I still have to hire a video person, and I've got another position to hire. But we're rounding out the roster. We've got 10 kids on the roster right now, and we hope to add 2 or 3 more in the next week.
I just love the relationship between old coach, new coach. You know, Katie Meyer's a legend in the ACC. I don't know anybody across basketball that doesn't like Katie, respect her X and O ability, all that comes with it to be a head coach. She's one of the top, and our game's going to miss her in some respects, but because you're so willing by keeping Fitz and Margie and Lonnie, they're amazing people. They're a part of the fabric of ACC basketball. It's such an important move. I bet it didn't take you long to figure out that. And then, of course, Danielle Page was such a great player. I covered her when she was a player at Nebraska. I remember how good she was. And then, of course, Muriel's a legend, right? I mean, this is going to be really fun watching you develop alongside the Cavender twins what will be a really entertaining upstyle play. I'm looking forward to it. When you get ready to roll the ball out for the first official practice and you're wearing the Miami gear and you're in the arena and this is your, you know, I know this has got to be a dream of yours, Tricia. How do you put that into the proper emotions?
Well, even walking down the hallways, I went to my first head coaches meeting today, and to be surrounded by, you know, Coach Larinaga and Mario, you know, there's some amazing coaches in this building that I hope to learn from. I had great relationships with all of the coaches at Toledo, and I think that's one thing special is that people just think about the basketball landscape, but when you're in this kind of space, you want to learn from everybody. And I want to soak up as much knowledge as I can from all the other coaches here. But I laughed walking down the hallway. You and I can appreciate this, that I walked down, there's a hallway that has all of our greats from the history of this program, and I laughed that the one I played against, her picture's in black and white, and that's Frances Savage. I laughed. I'm like, where's the color picture? At least I'm not in the background getting scored on. But you know, what a great tradition here. And the biggest way I can honor it is for us to work our tails off and to maintain it and build on it, because so many people built this. And I think every day when I get up, all I think about is how can we do our best job possible to honor the legacy of all those who came before us. And that's to continue to build an incredible program and to keep attracting great student athletes that can help us not only win games, but hopefully in the future win championships.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch, and I can't wait to get down there and call some of your games. I hope that I'm going to put on my bucket list dinner and drinks with you and Katie together, which would be really fun, right?
And this time I might be able to afford them.
Head coaches buy, that's the rule. That never changes. That's always the rule, no matter, especially in the ACC. Tricia, you have from the beginning supported our efforts around Special Olympics. I mean, I call you a great colleague, a great friend, a peer, an incredible mentor to so many. And Special Olympics has been so important to me and my family, and you have been right there from the very beginning, helping us in lots of different ways, including supporting our efforts. Special Olympics is important. Why is it important to you?
Obviously, you know, we all know that we've all been blessed in our lifetime, and I want to help every student athlete and every athlete reach their dreams. It doesn't matter what obstacles that all of us face. We all have obstacles in our life, but I think the joy that sports bring to us, you know, we are all blessed by that. I had a student athlete that played for me at the University of Toledo, Lucretia Smith, who worked in a special abilities program in the city, and so watching her and the joy that it brought to her, but also just to continue to help people reach their dreams. In every facet of our life, we have the chance to bless people, to continue to help people. And that's something that I want to continue to do no matter where I am, no matter what community I'm a part of. And so, Debbie, it's a blessing to help you and to help all those athletes that you continue to help and people. And anytime I can, I'm gonna reach back and help you, because I really believe in the efforts that you have continued to do and what an impact you've made. What's your last dollar amount you raised last year?
We are in 5 years at 860. So this year we expect to cross 1 million, and I really think we're going to get there. you know, penny by penny. That's pretty much what we've done. It's been very much a grassroots effort, and I call it the first million, Tricia. I'm calling it the first million, you know, like we're gonna keep going, and you know, I'm gonna shoot till my arm falls off till I can't do it anymore. I mean,
I've learned a long time ago not to talk to you about defense.
I don't want to, I've never played defense. I'm only playing offense, and I only say that in every aspect of my life. I don't play defense, I'm going on offense.
And rightfully so. You know what? Offense does win games too. We've got to make baskets, but that's what we're chasing down this week. Some bucket getters.
Well, I know you'll get some, and I know that you have impacted our ability to raise money, impacted our ability to create awareness. And I love hearing you share stories about how Special Olympics, through the eyes of one of your players, has helped impact you. So thank you for being with us on 24 Hours, but Nothing But Net. ACC fans are in for a real treat when they see your team roll up, and I'm excited for you as much as I'm excited for ACC and basketball for you to have a chance to do this.
Well, thanks for having me on, Debbie. And as always, I think the world of you, and I commend you for everything that you do, not only for our sport, but to help others.
When we started this event 6 years ago, we had one person who was willing to jump in with us, and she brought along her teammate. This is Stephanie Coro and Ryan. Thank you for being with us, guys. I'm so glad that you had time to fit us into your busy schedules.
Always happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to be a part of the meeting.
Ryan, I love your background. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you put that together.
Well, I put this background together. I mean, it's throughout the 4 years we had, me and Steph, throughout this event here in Rhode Island. I'm so grateful that, Stephanie built this event in Rhode Island and continued to grow with this event. I'm just so grateful for that.
Ryan, you were there at the beginning when Stephanie started shooting in her driveway, right? And she was doing a similar thing that I was trying to do. She's got, I think I might have 30 or 40 years on her, though. She's a lot younger than me. We're both doing it, right, Steph? I mean, we're trying to make as many free throws as we can to help Special Olympics.
Yep, absolutely. And it's so much fun too. So when it starts to hurt towards the end, you just keep pushing because you know it's for a good cause.
Amen, sister. That is exactly it. Nobody feels it like you and me, right? I mean, we know.
Right.
Stephanie, tell us a little bit about your motivation behind why you wanted to do this in Rhode Island. I know what my motivation is. Tell us about yours.
So my motivation is one, I mean, I love basketball, so it kind of made it easy for me. And I did work for Special Olympics doing an internship and just fell in love with the community, and any way that I can help. I know there's so many amazing people out there, I mean, especially like you, Debbie, who do so many things for Special Olympic athletes. And I just wanted to do my part. Whether it's a little part, big part, I just wanted to be part of it. And I know I wanted to provide them with more opportunities than they might have right now.
Well, you've gone above and beyond, and you have more than done your part. The state of Rhode Island is so lucky to have you, Stephanie. And then you got your sidekick, Ryan. I mean, I know Ryan is 100% all in. Ryan, why do you love Special Olympics so much?
Well, I'm a Special Olympic athlete. That's because, I mean, I love Special Olympics because it helped me promote inclusion. It helped me share a lot of stories about why I was involved with this organization through this event and through many different events. I'm just so grateful to be a Special Olympic athlete. So grateful, like I said, I'm so grateful for friendship with Stephanie Coro here.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of Special Olympics, right? You get to be friends with Stephanie and hang out with Stephanie. That's pretty cool.
Pretty
I mean,
much so.
I'm still waiting on my chance to hang out with Stephanie. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Ryan,
I'm so grateful for that.
Ryan, when you think about what you do on a day-to-day basis now with your job and all the friends in your community, how have Special Olympics helped you?
Well, Special Olympics helped me through the love and passion of sports. It helped me get a job at Rhode Island College Athletics. I've been team manager for Rick basketball 4 years. I'm grateful to still be a part of the some Rick culture. And I witnessed, like, when I was an intern and then I was operations assistant this year. Last year, when I was an intern, I witnessed Rick women's basketball just made our first ever Final Four, and basically pretty much it's our first Rhode Island team that made the Final Four. And I've been looking at the history through Providence College. They've been doing it since 1987, and that was the first Rhode Island team that made the Final Four in any division at all. And I'm just so grateful. Like, I was the mascot, by the way, and Steph was at the game, but yeah, I know it's funny, but which is funny because I never even told her until after the game when we lost by 5. But it was a great Christopher Newport team that we played, and we play with such determination. And then we had a 29-0 season this year. We never had an undefeated season in our program history. It was definitely our best season in Rhode Island college history. I mean, and that's why I'm just so grateful for Special Olympics, to be involved with Rhode Island College Athletics and Rick basketball, and as a fan.
Rhode Island College Division III, Christopher Newport, powerhouse. They went to the Final Four last year, I think, in women's college basketball in the Division III level, if I'm right.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
The most famous alum of Rhode Island College is Stephanie. right?
Stephanie Coro. Yes, that is correct. She is definitely the most famous.
So, Ryan, I'm a non-stat starter at NC State. I'm very proud of my role. I was a 3-year starter. I played 30 minutes, and I had very few stats. That's not the case with Stephanie. Can you rattle off Stephanie's stats for me?
That's going to be hard to tell. I mean, she's made a lot of free throws, man. I mean, in 24 hours, she is a really good free throw shooter. She proved that she's a really good athlete. She's a really, really good free throw shooter. Like, free throws. She's doing it for Special Olympics, and I'm so grateful to be a part of.
Yeah, I think Stephanie scored over 2,000 points in college, if I'm right. Is that correct, Steph?
Close, 1,500.
Well, yeah, 1,500. All right, I was off by 500. That was just a few games for you. Stephanie, tell us about your event, what you're doing in Rhode Island, and give us all the details so we can be prepared. Because it's not happening on the same day that we're doing ours. Yours is coming a little bit later.
Yes, so we have to do it a little bit later because it's not warm in Rhode Island yet. So we always have to push it back. And so this year we're doing it June 22nd into the 23rd. And I am going to do it at my parents' house again because that backyard is where I learned to play basketball, where I fell in love with it. So I think it's the perfect place. My parents have an amazing backyard. They're willing to host it. And last year we had so many people show up, and I love that because it's a comfortable place where people can come, they can hang out. And my favorite thing about last year is on my final 100 free throws, I had 21 other people shooting with me. And that was so special to me because I don't want it to be just about me. I mean, it's about Ryan, it's about the athletes, it's about everybody coming together, which is what Special Olympics is. Bringing everybody together, different communities, different people. And I think that's what we did. We did a great job of that, bringing so many different people in, and everyone got to shoot. My nephew shot, and they were 5 years old, and now we have people who were like in their 60s shooting. Like, I don't think there's anything better than bringing that whole community together to support this amazing cause.
And Ryan, I know you guys climb the ladder and cut down the net like we do. When you climb the ladder and cut down the net, how does that feel? What's that feel like? Because that's what champions do.
You're exactly right, and it does feel like champions do. This is kind of almost like a championship game feeling. Like we had like a net cutting, excuse me, like cutting the net. It's such an honor, like pretty much so, like doing it for the athletes of Special Olympics, and I want to be a role model for those athletes too. And I mean, I've been so grateful to be involved.
Ryan, you're a role model for all of us, not just the Special Olympic athletes. Stephanie, our story is so similar. I'm in the driveway. That's where I fell in love with the game. I am out there shooting, trying to draw as much awareness and create as many opportunities for Special Olympic athletes like you're doing. The wonderful thing about 24 Hours Nothing But Net is that you jumped in, and the money that you raise stays in the state of Rhode Island. The money that Pennsylvania raised stays in the state of Pennsylvania, and then the money that I raise stays in the state of South Carolina. And I think, you know, we're gaining some traction with some other states. It just feels like you have helped us generate enthusiasm across the country and other places. I mean, I'm looking at taking this show on the road eventually and doing some things in other places to try to continue to bring attention. Tell me a little bit about your fitness and your training, because I can tell you what I'm doing, and it's not easy. I mean, it's getting harder and harder for me to do it, but it's definitely, I'm motivated by you and Ryan and everyone else that's a part of our event.
Thank you. So I have been working out, lifting weights. I play basketball 2 nights a week, and so to be able to play, you get to shoot a free throw. So I get some of my free throws in there, and I have a hoop at my house. So just any hoop I have, and I've been running a lot of clinics for a lot of girls in Rhode Island. That's like my big thing right now. I just started it, and I'm getting more girls involved with basketball. So I'm in the gym almost every single day. So I'm getting shots up. I'm helping other people get shots up. So it's been tough, and I'm getting a little nervous as the time comes and to get closer and closer, because I know it's going to be difficult, but I think it's going to be a little bit better for me this year, because I've already had people reaching out. Can I shoot? Can I help out? And I have Ryan, who, if I'm tired, I'm like, Ryan, step in, and he's willing to go. So I think that this year is going to be better than the last couple of years. And the fact that I have more people who want to shoot is going to be great for me, great for Ryan, great for Special Olympics Rhode Island, great for the cause.
Everything that you're talking about. Yeah, Ryan, I see you pumping your fist. Oh, right. That's exactly it. Everything that you've said, everything you've done in the past, all of it culminates in helping other people. And you have an incredible servant heart, Stephanie. And I'm so grateful that you have jumped in with us and wanted to do this. And Ryan, man, you just keep kicking butt, dude. You're setting everybody on fire that's watching this right now, getting ready to probably want to go outside and shoot some free throws himself.
Most definitely. One of the keys, it's all about resiliency, motivation. I've been motivating Steph a lot. I've been motivating a lot of others to be better. That's what I do in life. That's what I do. Motivate people to be better in life.
So, have you guys seen the Netflix show Love on the Spectrum?
I haven't.
Haven't seen it yet? Okay, well, you got to check it out, because Frankie's roommate Tanner is one of the characters on the show. And while Ryan is talking about sharing motivation and encouraging words, Tanner's spreading joy. I think all of it is the same, right? It's all the same. Ryan, when Stephanie starts to get tired and she gets into that, you know, the legs start to get, because Stephanie knows what I'm talking about, the legs are the first thing that want to go. What do you say to her to keep her going?
I just say keep going, never stop. Don't stop, don't look back, keep going. That's what Nothing But Net's all about. And that's what we do for Special Olympic athletes. That's what we do for Special Olympics in life.
I can't think of a better way to close out our time. That is absolutely perfect. Stephanie, anything else you'd like to add outside of what you're doing, which is just absolutely selfless for Special Olympics?
I just want to wish everybody else who's doing it good luck, and I hope this just continues to grow and grow and grow. And I wish you luck, and I hope you have a great success with it. And I'm just so excited for it to happen again.
I'm going to shoot till my arm falls off. I literally am shooting until my arm falls off, and I hope it falls off in my driveway 10 years from now. That'd be quite a story if that could happen, but I'm gonna keep going until I can't do it anymore, and I'm gonna do what you're doing. Just keep inspiring and keep trying to motivate those people along the path. So thank you both for everything that you're doing in the state of Rhode Island to help 24 Hours Nothing But Net. You're gonna help us cross $1 million. We're gonna have to cross $1 million this year in year 6 for Special Olympics across the country.
Can't wait to see that happen. I mean, I'm so grateful for you, Debbie, and everyone around here. So thank you so much for inviting us.
You guys are great, fast friends. Thank you for everything you do. That's Stephanie Coro and Ryan coming to you from Rhode Island. There are events coming up June 22nd and 23rd from Stephanie's backyard where she grew up loving the game. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
The good thing about Special Olympics is we have fun and hang out with friends.
I grew up with one of my best friends' daughter is handicapped, and she's just been an inspiration to my life. I can't wait to get her down here to Asheville to a couple of games But you know, community service, loving on people has always been something that's important to me. So I have an opportunity, you know, they already had this set up, and anything that Debbie Alexanelli is a part of, I want to be a part of as well. Debbie's known me since I was about 15 years old, and I had an opportunity to meet her son, and I'm just, like, everything she does is top-notch and about doing right by people, any and everybody. So I'm super excited to be a part of anything that she's doing. These kids volunteered and wasn't pulling teeth. They don't have to make them be here. They wanted to be here. And about student athletes just coming to play basketball, man, we got doctors, we got lawyers, we got robotic engineers, and these kids are graduating at a higher rate than just students. So they're definitely the student athlete that you want to support and come out and see play.
Okay, to 4 a.m. shower, clean clothes. Man, okay, so we got a little ways to go to reach $1 million. If you're up at 5 a.m. and you're watching this, clearly you can double whatever you were considering. We need it. Put a few zeros on it and send it in. We could really use it. We're having a great time. This crew back here behind me has stuck with me the whole night. Amazing, right? Kept me awake and loose and ready to go. Or something like that. Nameless and faceless for now. Friend of the friendless. Friend. Okay. All right.
Starting now?
Yeah. If it goes in.
Yep.
1, 5 o'clock. 2. 3. 'Thank you. 4. 5. 6. Ooh. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 12. How's that not go in? 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 40. Dang it. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. Oh, that's off. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 80. Dang it. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. Oh, 91. 92. 93. 93. 93. No, it's not. 94. 95. 96. Oh, it's off. Thank you. 97. Ooh. 98. 99. 7. Okay. 7. Okay. All right. Coming up next, my friend at St. Louis University, Rebecca Tillett, has an incredible story to share about her family. I find it quite inspiring every time I see her and think all the things that she manages. Diane Richardson, head coach at Temple. You talk about energy and inspiration. She has not one but 2 children, young adults, living with special needs. And then nobody's won more college basketball games than the great Tara Vanderveer, who has recently announced her retirement from Stanford, and she went out on top as the all-time winningest leader. Check their stories out.
We've had a lot of leaders, coaches, great communicators, and inspiring motivational people. Now we get Rebecca Tillett, who's the head coach at St. Louis, and she has a story to share with us that is absolutely going to blow you away. Rebecca, I have admired you for a long time, because if you can win at Longwood and take a team to the NCAA, and you can win at St. Louis and take a team to the NCAA, and then win what you did this year, which you're going to share with us, you know how to coach, which means you know how to lead people and you know how to inspire. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Debbie. And anytime we have a conversation, I take something away from it that I end up sharing with our women or using in inspirational conversations later in the day. So I just appreciate you so much and all you've done for women's basketball, Special Olympics, all of it.
Yeah, well, we're here for Special Olympics today, and you have a story to share with us about your family. Before we get into your basketball career, let's hit that first, because that's the most important thing that we're going to talk about today is your family.
You know, it's so interesting when you reached out, you know, to have this conversation. I remembered back even to my parents taking us to Special Olympics events, as they were both educators and teachers. And so we ended up at Special Olympics events. And I thought back, wow, I haven't thought about that particular influence on my life in a really long time, and how much it has impacted how I lead and how I navigate life, and how we've navigated the challenges with our son. So our son, Jack, allows me to tell his story. In order, he always says, if it'll help one other person, then it's worth telling the story. And so in 2017, Jack was diagnosed with PANDAS, pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep. And like many moms of children with any special need, right, you spring into action and you try to figure out, okay, what do I need to learn about this condition? How can I help? What physicians can help? What services are out there to support? What activities can support our child? And our son has been through it, and we're still in the mix of fighting for his health and his quality of life. And he remains determined. He promised me if we made it to the WNIT final that he would come, and our team did, and he came. And there's actually a picture of him coming up on the ladder with me and cutting down the net. That his symptoms, right, make daily life very, very difficult for him right now. And we're working so hard to find the next treatment that will get him more quality of life.
The more we can talk about PANDAS, the more it's interesting to me, because it seems like it's such a simple thing that we take for granted. A little strep throat, we take a kid to the doctor, and we think that we've taken care of the symptoms, and then something else creeps up. And your instincts are what I'm so impressed about, is that you knew that something wasn't right.
You know, we did. And I think, goodness, the moms and dads in the PANDAS community, right, formed this galvanized group of people. I remember the first call I had with a mom, and she said, listen, we're a fierce community of, you know, families that are working, you know, to help their children. I think for Jack's symptoms, right, that might present so differently than anyone else with strep throat. At this point, the research at Stanford is significant. Columbia is studying this, and, you know, trying to figure out what is the biomarker that can, you know, determine how to get great treatment for these, you know, kids in their process. And Jack's been at the battle now for a really long time. And his symptoms include, you know, severe OCD, anxiety, food comes into play with how they interact with food and what's safe for them to eat. And so it really impacts schooling, social relationships, the ability to leave the house.
It's overwhelming at times, right? I mean, because I know we have different situations with our families, but there are some similarities to how we go about trying to manage normal life for your other kids as well. And you have found an incredible balance that I admire. Tell a little bit about what your day's kind of like with Jack, and then with your team and everything else that you're doing.
Yeah. So I think for Jack right now, his schedule's flipped based on his symptoms. So he's up more of the night than he is during the day. So our interactions, right, really are centered around morning and evening when he's still awake. And then when he's mostly sleeping when I'm at work, with that schedule flip. You know, he's got two incredible siblings who know a lot about his condition and are, you know, just, they love him and protect him. And there's actually a really good memory after one of the treatments he received in January this year. There was a period of time with some relief, and his sisters took him to the Drake concert. And so I have that picture, right? Like those moments where we can get him feeling good enough to have a good moment with his siblings that in everyday life, right, you just take for granted. And then in terms of our team, along this journey, one of our former leaders on our team said to me, you know, they call me Tillet. Tillet, you gotta share more with us. Like, we see you're advocating, we see how much you work for Jack, and we admire it, and we want to know about it so we can be a part of it. And that was a big moment for me, because I think with pandas especially, there's some stigma around it. There's some people just don't even know anything about it, so they don't know how to respond or how to help or what to say. And so that was a moment of me saying, no, open up and share the story, and that actually allows people to support you. And then one other moment, I think on my hardest days, what I tend to do is go in those pandas groups, and there's always someone new posting, like, what do I do? My child was just diagnosed, or I think my child might need to be diagnosed. And just offering, some positive encouragement and words or lessons that I've learned along the way, that helps me stay, motivated on the hard days.
I'm with you on that. Like, not everything goes our way, right? Because as professionals, we have a whole other world that people may not even recognize. We've created a lot of awareness around Special Olympics because of our event and how successful it has been, based on the number of people that have been impacted by the money that comes in, because the money goes right to help the athletes. And I call it not a donation or a gift. I call it an investment. I mean, to me, you're investing in Special Olympics because it goes right to the people. I'm not building brick and mortar and putting some roof over a construction site. I am actually helping the players, because that's what we've done our whole careers, right? We've helped players. We've been players. We've been teammates. Now you're in a position where you're not just leading young women, you're helping them excel at the highest level based on the number of championships that you've won in a short time, Rebecca. Like, it's amazing when you consider what you're dealing with your 3 kids and being a mom, and I've got 3 kids, and we've got a special situation. You've got one. Doesn't matter how old they are. It's still, you've still got the same perspective on what we're doing. Tell a little bit about how you've been able to, in a short time, do what you've done, and don't be humble about it, because it's very impressive.
Well, thank you. I think, the biggest question I'm getting asked these days is, how is the team playing its best at the right time consistently over and over again, even if there's pitfalls or hardships early on in the season? And I think so much of that is the investment in one another and figuring it out together. And if you truly can get the group to believe that we can figure it out, more and more will come at us throughout the course of a season or throughout the course of a lifetime, right? But if we're determined to lean on one another, you mentioned teammates, like, to me, that's one of the highest words, right? Like, obviously mom is so important to me, family member, coach, and then teammate, like being a great teammate to somebody in whatever role that is in your life. So teaching the team how to be teammates. And this year was especially significant because we felt like we got on the right path in the A10 tournament, and then had a really traumatic injury and almost found a way to the finals and didn't, and then got that opportunity to go to the WNIT and just kept getting better until the very final buzzer, playing against Minnesota. And we're able, for us as leaders, it's look at the people that you're working with, and we've gotten to experience so many great things in our life, but seeing it through the eyes of them for the first time, every time winning a championship, like, I hope I always get to feel that, like, look at it through their eyes of what they just accomplished together.
We're talking about team. We're talking about a lot of concepts here, and you're exactly right. What we're trying to do as good teammates is make things easier for others. So you're, as a team member, like in basketball, I always say, cut hard, run the floor hard, set a really good screen on an angle, all the things that are on the stat sheet that make your team better and make the game easier for your teammates. In Special Olympics, we're doing the same thing. If there was someone out there that was kind of on, teetering on as to whether they want to make an investment in what we're doing, what would you say to them about why Special Olympics would be so powerful for them to get involved in?
I think all of us, when we have the opportunity to nurture or care for another human being, it's innately in us to do that. And in this case, you get to do it, and the smiles, the enjoyment, the camaraderie that's developed when you give to Special Olympics. And if, you know, I've had the opportunity, right, to watch athletes in those moments, and they are just that, athletes competing and creating those memories. I think it's just such a beautiful opportunity to give, and you're making a difference. And when you lay your head down at night, you go, I made a difference for somebody else today.
That is very well stated, and thank you again for doing this with us, Rebecca. We love having you on, and thank you for sharing your story about Jack and your family. You've brought a lot of awareness to pandas, and we're grateful for your time.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Appreciate everything. Donate.
Are you ready? Show me you ready for the greatest moment of your entire life. Are you ready? Oh, just do your best, 'cause this is where we show the world we shine a light. I feel strong, set my goals, 'cause I know I can do anything you do, but I gotta work harder. 'Cause I was searching, but now I find you. So I'm making a move, I got to do, got something to prove. Hey. Are you ready? Show me you ready for the greatest moment of your entire life. Are you ready? Oh, just do your best, 'cause this is where we show the world we shine a light. 'Cause I won't get up, I got too much to prove. No, I won't get up, I got too much to lose. 'Cause I won't get up, I got too much to prove. No, I won't get up, I got too much to lose. Hold on, look back, be proud of yourself. We all together ain't gotta hide yourself. I mean, the spirit you got inside yourself. Unbeatable, untold, competing with one goal. We seen it unfold. I'm saying look back, smile at where you find yourself. Hold up. Are you ready? Show me you ready for the greatest moment of your entire life. Are you ready? Oh, just do your best, 'cause this is where we show the world we shine a light. Are you ready? Show me you ready for the greatest moment of your entire life. Are you ready? Oh, just do your best, 'cause this is where we show the world we shine a light. 'Cause I won't get up, I got too much to prove. No, I won't get up, I got too much to lose. 'Cause I won't get up, I got too much to prove. No, I won't get up, I got too much to lose. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh. Are you ready? 'Cause this is where we show the world we shine a light. Are you ready?
One of the things I love about the 24-hour live stream on 24 Hours Nothing But Net is we get to invite our friends that provide inspiration and motivation, and sometimes I need it. And when I need it, I'm going right here to this lady, Diane Richardson, the head coach at Temple, who's been a longtime friend of mine. And Diane, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
I love having you here because you and I have some shared background and some similar story about our family. So I want you to tell everybody about your family and why this event is so important to you.
Yeah, it's been great and you know, good to share some things with you, Debbie, over the years with our children. I have two children that are special needs. My daughter Dana, who's 39, was born with cerebral palsy and mental delay. And then my youngest son, Michael, who's 26, has autism. So it's been a journey for us. And but I've got to say it's been great for us, great for Dana, my daughter, and great for Michael, my son. And we've been involved in some events like you, Debbie, and definitely your fundraiser and your program is awesome because it has changed the lives of my kids.
Well, I'm glad you said that because there are a lot of families like ours that need someone that's willing to take a chance on them, that is willing to give them an opportunity, that will say, hey, we want your kids to be involved. And that's where sport unites all of us, right? No matter where you come from or whatever your background is, you can find a landing spot. And that's what we found through Special Olympics. Tell us a little bit about your experience coaching your team and having your family immersed in everything that you do.
Yeah, growing up with Dana, my teams all throughout the years have been a part of Dana's life and Dana a part of their lives. And the sport, like you said, is just opens the door for so many. And it's worked both ways. Dana enjoys putting on a jersey. She enjoys, the excitement of being around the ladies because she really thinks she's one of them and that she's going to go out and score 20 points. But the other part of that is my team and my players throughout the years, all these years, have gotten a chance to be able to see Dana and her progress and how she enjoys life, and just to see how the compassion just oozes from them, understanding this other population.
Well, it starts from the top. It's the way you and your husband have raised your family and the way you go about managing your business around your kids. I mean, I know for me, Frankie didn't get any shortcuts, or we didn't give him any, easy way out. He had to do things the way the other guys did. And, everybody's situation is a little different, but we do have a lot of similarities in what we've been able to do and highlighting what our kids do well, not worrying about what they don't do. That's what I've always been so impressed about your energy, because I feel it from you when I see you. I know you and we're thinking a lot of the same things about what we're doing in our business and how we go about approaching life. I mean, everybody knows you have incredible enthusiasm all the time, Diane. And there's a lot of times that you could not. And I'm sure there's moments when things don't go your way the way you want them to. What do you do when those times come?
Well, I think about Dana and how she's survived. And I see that all these little things add up and the joy in it. And I say, don't sweat the small stuff, because I see what she has gone through and how many times she tried to stand up, and to use her limbs. And I see her overcoming and overcoming and overcoming. And I'm thinking the little stuff we go through is nothing. And, she's been an inspiration, because they said she would never walk. And, she took her first steps at 7.5. And then, Special Olympics came along and she ran in the 60-yard dash as a 12-year-old. And, just to see that, I know that, the little things that try to bring us down are just little things.
You can look at our event and you can think, I could throw $24 at it, or I can give you a little bit more. What we always ask is $24 for every free throw I make. If you gave me 1 penny, that would be $24. A lot of people can look at it as just, doing their moral obligation to be philanthropic. But you and I know that is not what it is. It is an investment in people. Listening to you talk about Dana and tell that story, that gives me chills, because I can only imagine how it must have felt for you being on the other end of that finish line, watching her cross the line. Can you share some of the joy that you have experienced with Dana and Michael?
Yeah. When you say that about the finish line, I think I was a crazy woman yelling, "Let's
Oh,
go!"
I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. I was at the finish line just like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome to see her not only walk, but to run. And just all of the athletes around that, you see them just overcoming, and the joy in their hearts. And every year I have my team to volunteer at Special Olympics, and you see them, screaming at the finish line or screaming, running around the track, let's go, let's go. And it's just a great feeling to see them accomplish those things, and all the work that Special Olympics does to make those things come true for these young athletes. It is inspiring. It's awesome. And it's just a joy to participate.
You got a little bit of a taste in Cleveland when you met my sisters, who will be watching this live stream and in my driveway while this is airing. So you can see the enthusiasm and the excitement that we've all grown up with and how that carries forward in an environment around Frankie that gives him a chance to feel that kind of love and that kind of excitement. When you met the sisters, because that's what they're affectionately called while they're on the road at the Final Four, you know, what was your impression? How'd you meet them? Give us a little breakdown, because they just inserted themselves right into your life, I know.
Well, they did, and it was awesome. I'm walking around the arena, and all of a sudden, you know, of course, I see your twin that she looks just like you, but they're like, "Oh, Coach Richardson at Temple," and then we started talking about the kids, about Frankie, about Dana, and they were high-fiving, and my staff were with me, and they were high-fiving my staff, and my staff was like, "Who are these people?" But then, of course, they told us, and they said they were coming to a game. So we're all excited about that. And hopefully they come. You guys, now you all promise, come to a game at Temple.
Okay, that's good. Put it out there right now, because they said they were coming to a game. So they need to hitch on and go see exactly what we were talking about, because you got it working now. I mean, how much fun are you having? You've been in the business for so long. You have impacted so many young lives, so many young women. What's it feel like for you now, you know, with the landscape and what college sports is supposed to be about and what it's turned into, and how are you navigating all of that?
Well, you know, it's an awesome field, and this is my second career. So I went into coaching after being a CEO because I wanted to be impactful, like my coach was for me. And I absolutely love seeing these young ladies grow and move on in their lives and become professionals or professional basketball players. It's changing a little bit, and we're trying to adapt, but I still think the motivating factor for me is to be a mentor and to impact their lives. And I'm going to continue to do that. Sometimes I have to do it with my knees deep into the portal, but I'm going to continue to try to do that. Me and my staff, we're going to try to be change agents and try to help these young ladies grow.
You and I are living with young adults. In Dana's case, she's a 39-year-old woman. Frankie's 26. Special Olympics has been a huge part of our journeys. If there are young families out there listening, or people that are considering potentially making a donation to help Special Olympics, what would you say to them about your experiences and why it's important to invest in this cause?
Yeah, it's so important. It has made a difference in our life and a difference in Dana. And we talk about her age at 39. And, you know, back in the day, people like Dana were kind of in the house. You know, you didn't bring him out. But I tell you, Special Olympics really blossomed for her. And it blossomed for us as a family. It really makes a difference in these kids' lives, just to see if you could just go to a Special Olympics event and see the joy that this brings to these young people. It is an awesome feeling for them. It's an awesome feeling for you. I can't tell you how many times I've cried at Special Olympics, just seeing the joy, but it's definitely a great cause, and these young athletes need it. And if you can donate, anything will help, because these help change the lives of these young people.
Diane Richardson, my dear friend for so many years, I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you for your advocacy. Thank you for making the lives of your players better by introducing them to Dana and your family, and keeping things in perspective, because that's what we got to do these days. But we need some money to do that, to keep these kids organized and keep them training and keep them competing, because it's a really fun way to go. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, and make sure you donate.
and incredible
Debbie.
adoration for one of my dear friends and one of the all-time great people, let alone coaches, teachers, and leaders I've ever been around, Tara Vanderveer. Coach, love you
Debbie.
so much, so much. Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
I have enjoyed our relationship over the years. I have learned so much from you. I am so grateful for your time today, and I'm grateful for your support of 24 Hours Nothing But Net. Thank you for being involved.
Well, I think it's a great cause, and you know, I want to support you. I think it's awesome. And, you know, I can't make all those shots that you can make, but I'm happy to contribute.
You know, whenever I'm around you, I always feel like I got to sit up a little straighter and make sure I ask something that's really intelligent, and then I actually look like a fool, but that's part of our relationship, right? Like I love the way that you needle me, and I like the way that I could, you know, try to get at you a little bit some days.
Well, we do have a special friendship, and you do a great job announcing. You're so conscientious. You love the game of basketball, and you give back to the game in so many different ways. And, you know, it's hard to keep up with you.
Well, it's hard to keep up with you. You've retired. How's it going? What's retirement been like?
I'll be honest with you, it's been incredibly busy, but it's a very different feeling. It's, you know, like I wake up, I know I'm, you know, I'm doing a lot. I've got a lot of different things going on. Podcasts, a couple books working on, you know, speaking engagements, possibility of a movie. So we'll see if that happens. And, you know, and just, I'm working at Stanford still. I'm going to be in a part-time capacity, working, in development, and also working in, kind of as a coach's coach. And I'm meeting, you know, I have lunch today with our men's basketball coach, our new coach, Kyle Smith, great guy. And, you know, looking forward to getting to know him, and just want to be a resource for all of our coaches and an ambassador for the university.
I can't think of anyone that could do it any better. Nobody has won more games than you have. When you talk about finishing at the top, there's literally no place higher than where you finished. Nobody's won as many games as you have. I love that you still want to have service back to the game.
Yeah, you know, Debbie, obviously sometimes the winning gives you a hook, or someone, you know, is interested in talking to you or whatever, but I don't think I don't think that defines me, or even explains me. You know, I'm just kind of a nut about basketball. I love the game of basketball. I love being in the gym, practice. You know, the relationships that you have with all the people I've met. And I'm so fortunate that basketball has allowed me this incredible life of traveling the world, meeting, you know, just wonderful, wonderful people, and just having, you know, friends like you. So I have to pinch myself. Wow, this is my life, and I love it.
I want people to know that you make the very best lasagna that I have ever had. It was outstanding. I have been invited to your home a couple of times, and I have enjoyed our friendship over the years, because I always get something back from you. I don't know if I give anything, but I definitely get it. And I have enjoyed every issue in the game, every discussion we've ever had. And I hope that will continue, because I know you're not going anywhere. I'm not planning on going anywhere either.
No. Well, you know, I think that, and who knows, I might, you know, be a guest announcer on a game or something too, but I think our game needs, we need leaders in our game, not just women's basketball, but college athletics in general. You know, the mental health of not just student athletes, which is very important, but also coaches and everyone that's part of the game. That we're doing things that really grow our game in the right way. So we'll keep talking about everything, I'm sure.
Your humility around the game has always been one of the most attractive qualities about you as a person, I think, because you care. And I mean, I know stories of you putting players that were really good at other schools in the Pac-12, or helping some young woman who maybe couldn't get into Stanford, but you knew a place that would work for her, even if it was somebody that would come back and play you and maybe have a great game against you. It didn't matter to you at those moments, because you were truly trying to help some particular person. How will you be able to keep doing that? Because I know that's important to you.
You know, Debbie, thanks for that compliment. I guess, you know, I'm the oldest of 5 children, and our family is incredibly close. And I've been very fortunate in the
you know, the great education I have, and I really want good things for other people too, you know, and so if there's ways that I can help, I think I can help at Stanford, you know, being part of the athletic department. And I was kind of thinking about this today a little bit, you know, if there are, especially maybe, I don't say young, because everyone's younger than me, but, you know, young coaches out there that they feel overwhelmed or in some way, I think it's such an incredible job coaching now that I could work as an advisor, consultant for them. So, you know, there's just like, there's times where, you know, I would feel like just inadequate. Like, how do you cope with all the different issues that you're dealing with? And this is now an incredibly challenging athletic landscape on top of already a challenging job. So, you know, you know my sister Heidi, obviously, and we are very close and we help each other a lot. And so if I can be a quote big sister to someone else, then I'm interested in that too.
Man, you put that word out on the street. Are you kidding me? You're going to be flooded by young coaches that are going to want to get a piece of Tara VanDerveer. I can see that right now. You might need an agent for that work. You might need an agent.
Well, you know, it is kind of funny. I mean, the different things that have happened for me, I mean, it's just things have kind of been, I felt in a good way bombarded by, you know, this idea and that idea and this podcast and a book and, you know, all these things. And so I am, you know, really selective in how I do things. And I did retire to be able to, you know, spend more time on my bridge game so I can beat my mother, which I can't do. But, you know, I will be very selective, but if there's something that really feels right, I'll do it. And, you know, you know, whether it's doing, you know, an open Zoom or something like that, that's easy, you know, I'm up for that.
Well, I'd like to get dibs right now on being co-host or narrator of your podcast. And if I ever get the Sirius XM radio show that I have been begging for years on women's basketball as a weekly call in, I definitely want you to be my co-host. And if you decide that you do want to call a game, please request me as we can be co-panelists on a game. I think that would be a top bucket list for me for sure.
Well, you know, there's a lot of, obviously there are a lot of opportunities out there, and, you know, I'm excited about the WNBA team that's coming to San Francisco. You know, I've met with, you know, I've had a chance to talk with Jess Smith, and I know that it's going to be an awesome franchise. So there's a lot of fun opportunities out there. And obviously, you know, I'm really keeping my distance with our program. I haven't been in the gym except to walk through it, you know, when they're working out and everything. And Kate, I'm very excited about the job Kate's going to do. She's fantastic, hard worker, and she's going to have a great run. Excited about the ACC. So our paths, I know your and my path will cross.
Oh, I'm counting on it. I mean, I'm hoping those invitations that you've extended to me over the years are still open, because you just never know when I might just be dropping in on Chautauqua.
Yeah. Well, you know, Chautauqua, obviously coming out, there's going to be ACC games out here in California. And, you know, you talked about lasagna, but my number one dish is my salmon. So, you know,
I'm ready.
I can put that on the grill.
I'll be ready for it. I want to get your take on this, Tara. You know, I've called it Clarkonomics, Caitlin Clark and Clarkonomics, and coined that phrase because it's really an extension of ratings and attendance and investment in our game. And you see more opportunities starting to come about. And I keep saying it's about damn time, right? Like, what have we been waiting for? We've known the product's been good for so long. What do you think triggered the incredible increase in attendance this year?
Well, I think there are a lot of great stories in women's basketball, and I think some of those stories, you know, were just being told. Whether it was South Carolina's undefeated season, you know, obviously Caitlin Clark has been a bright light on all of women's basketball, and she has handled it so well, incredibly mature, someone that has stepped up and done so well, you know, for such a young person. You know, I was teasing about, I'm serious about, this movie is about the 96 team. And my first suggestion to them was have Caitlin Clark in the movie, so she would be great, but our women's basketball is more than one player. And, whether it's the WNBA, we have great players in the WNBA. We have great players, still in college. And a lot of it is, I think social media has really helped, move women's basketball along. Sometimes it's been, it's felt like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We have had, great maybe support of women's basketball back when Cheryl Miller played, or even the great fans that were, watching Lucy Harris play at Delta State. We just need to keep building on the foundation that we have and keep our, keep women's basketball front and center during the season, with our great players and our great teams.
I know you're somebody that eats film, watches it, sleeps, eats, breathes.
I haven't lately. I haven't watched a single game in a month.
I can't believe that. That's what I was going to ask you.
Well, I've watched it on television, but my team, my Warriors team lost. So I watch other games, but not with the enthusiasm that I coach the Warriors from my couch. I'm watching every play and, but I do love the game of basketball and I'm just figuring out different ways to contribute.
I don't know how we could not have the game continue to go on without your watchful eye and your open ear and your big, huge heart around the game, Tara. It's just amazing. I mean, when you said that you were going to retire, and you announced that you were retiring, it was a shock. It was just a big blow. Because I called your last game on the radio, which was
I didn't believe I was going to do it. I mean, it kind of shocked me too. I mean, I bet you every coach that you talk to, with the exception maybe of the national championship winner, at the end of the season, every coach is ready to quit. I mean, you are down to the nubs. You are exhausted. So in my mind, I probably retired 20 times at least, but I really, it really took me kind of a whole week after our last game and, just to really say, is this really what I want to do? And it felt the time was right. And, I really feel that right now in women's, in all of college sports, the amount of energy you're recruiting, constantly re-recruiting, there's not a break. And I think that it's the energy that it takes. I felt was, I didn't feel like I could give our team the 100% that it needed. And Kate can give 150, and she will, and she does, and her staff is fabulous. But I just felt like, it was time for me to do something else. And now I'm very excited about the other things I'm doing. But I feel that there's a whole different a feeling when I wake up in the morning, and it's just a lightness that is really great for me.
Well, I'm excited to hear that you want to do all the things that you want to do inside the game, because that continues to help all of us that are around it and that are intimately involved in it all the time and love it. So thank you for continuing to do that on behalf of every young coach out there that knows that they could call up Tara VanDerveer now and get her to watch some film or go to practice with them. That'd be crazy. I mean, I can think of a bunch of coaches right now. If I called them up, they'd be ready to sign up right now. What we're doing, we've been friends for a long time. This crazy idea that I had about making 100 free throws on the top of every hour for 24 hours. When I first started doing it, you were there at the very beginning. You have supported us. We're in year 6, Tara. We're getting ready to go over $1 million for Special Olympics. It sounds crazy as the idea. But when you think about sport and what it has actually meant and why being on a team is important and all the things that come with coaching your team at the highest level, winning 3 national championships, or coaching a team in Special Olympics that loves to play basketball, what comes to mind?
What comes to mind, Debbie, is that sport is sport and it's for everyone. And it doesn't matter if it's a Special Olympian. It doesn't matter if it's, a girl, a boy. It's for everyone. And there's so much joy, so much to learn, so much benefit from the health benefits alone, but the mental health benefits, the maturity that playing on a team that, you know, struggling, the resilience, all the kind of things that you learn from sport, is for everyone. And so it is an absolute pleasure to support Special Olympics. And again, that's something, you know, tap me for that. You know, that's something, again, you have more time, and I'm very interested in giving back, and I'm very happy to give back that way. And it doesn't always just have to be money.
Well, I'm so grateful for your time, Tara. I'm grateful for the conversation. I always enjoy my time with you. And I think there's going to be more time for you to spend with me now. You're not going to be able to put me off with practice, or, you know, I'm going to get into film session with you.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. I think I have to change my background here, because I'm only the head coach until May 8th. I better get working on that, huh?
Well, you're still the head coach in my mind, and you'll always be the leader of any team that you're a part of. And you're a great leader inside the game for young women. So thank you for your time here, and thank you for everything you've done. And I know you're going to have a happy, healthy retirement. I can see it, and I can definitely see the wheels spinning about what's next for the game.
Great. All right. My pleasure, Debbie. Have a great day, and make all those free throws.
The athlete cause I'm playing for this season is Special Olympics, and I chose this cause because I just think it's a really welcoming community, a loving community of really great people, and to be able to put them on a platform and play for them is going to be very special for me.
Debbie Antonelli, she's just true amazing person, and the more and more she would talk to me about basketball, the more and more personal we got. And throughout that relationship that we built, I found out that she had a special needs son. To be able to kind of play at this level and be fortunate enough to be able to meet people like that, those are heroes too. The universe got its way of connecting. I think it all kind of happened for a reason. So for AU to kind of like make that connection and not knowingly know my tie to it, just goes to show how amazing Athletes Unlimited is.
6 a.m. in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. 24 hours, nothing but net. Me and the crew and the birds are waking up. We've got a few more hours to go, and we could certainly use your help. So 24hoursnbn.com. If you have the means to do so, please, at least 1 penny for every free throw I make. How many free throws have I made? Is it 1,800? How many hours we got? So this is 1,900? Yeah, okay. It's gonna be beautiful, I can tell. The sun's gonna come out. We're not gonna have any more rain. Okay. All right, let's give it a go, Sanchez.
Here we go.
Well, we'll have to have another practice because that didn't make it over the net. Uh-oh. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 8. 9. 10. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. Thank you. 24. 25. 26. 26. 27. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. Oh, it's off. 32. Take it. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 73. 73. I hate it when it does that. Not like that one. 74. 75. 76. Ah, it's off. Oh, thank you. 77. 78. 79. 80. Thank you, basketball gods. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 94, 94, 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. 6, 7. 7. Okay. All right. Chipping away, chipping away. Can you help us chip away? We're trying to get to 1 million. I'm trying to chip away on these free throws. We need your help. Just 1 penny for every free throw I make is $24. You can automatically be qualified to win a Dr. Dish. Every donation is eligible. So please give. 24hoursnbn.com. 24hoursnbn.com. Coming up next, the head coach at Clemson, Brad Brownell, who's a great friend and a terrific coach. Kelly Ray Finley from Florida. We're going to have her back again. And then Dr. Joan Fallon, my friend, who's the CEO of CureMark, which is a company that is creating a drug for autism to help those that are battling that. Check it out. William?
Brad Brownell, one of our favorite guests on 24 Hours Nothing But Net. Coach, thank you so much for being with us again. It is great to see you.
My pleasure. Good to be with you as always. And I heard you were down there in our gym working on your stroke the other day.
I was. I want to thank you for cracking the door so I could slip in and get in there and get some shots up. That's when you know you got an incredible trust factor, right? I mean, that you would let me in there to get a workout in, and it was a great workout. Of course, I'd love to be in that gym every day working
There
out.
you go.
It's a beautiful place, your facility.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Yeah, it is. It's we're very blessed. Obviously got it renovated about 7 years ago, and it's made a world of difference. Just in terms of helping us with recruiting and just letting folks know that, hey, we care about basketball over here at Clemson too. And obviously this year's run was magical and a lot of fun, and shoot, let's try to duplicate it. Take another step.
I mean, come on, like what just so fitting with all the work and the amount of time that you have spent, that facility, all the things you're talking about to make the run that you guys made. Talk about your run a little bit into the NCAA tournament. It's an incredible job by you and your staff.
Well, it's funny. We didn't play very well. We got smashed in the first round of the ACC tournament by Boston College. Maybe it ended up being a good thing for us. We came back and had a couple of days of tough practices. And, you know, what's crazy is it just shows, and I've talked about it a lot as a coach, momentum is so powerful. We have a good team. We knew we had a good team. PJ Hall, just a superstar, not just player, person, guy that's been with me his entire career. Chase Hunter, another guy, been with me his entire career. And then adding Joe Girard, a really good player. So we knew we had good pieces, good players. We just needed to kind of get started. And if we could win a game, we thought we could advance and do some big things. And, it's funny, this was a team that I talked about before the season privately. I told our team I thought we were good enough to make a Final Four. And I kind of reminded them of that before the tournament, even though we just had a very poor outing against Boston College. And I think it just kind of reset us. And again, once we played extremely well against New Mexico and won that game going away, you could almost see the confidence and a little bit of the pressure kind of, released from our guys' shoulders. And it's like, hey, let's just go have fun. Let's just play loose. Let's get after it. And certainly we played our best basketball in the NCAA tournament.
Well, you certainly did, and it was a fun ride to watch. It was very enjoyable for fans, and it definitely was for those of us around the game. We couldn't be more happy for a guy like you to have a chance to take your team that deep. I mean, and to see that you're so close, right? I mean, it's just there's so many factors that go into being able to win at that level, and it's not just the talent. There's so many other things. Each year, it seems like there's a building process for you, Brad. I personally am tired of hearing people say, oh, Brad Brownell, he's an underrated coach. I think I told you this during the season. That's a bunch of crap, man. Come on. I'm tired of hearing people say that. Like, why would people say that? You continue to, if you're paying attention and you're watching what's happening and you're listening, you can see the progress each year. Well, how do you feel about all that? Like in your vision, where you're going?
Yeah, I don't worry about the outside noise too much. I've been in this long enough to know that doesn't do much good. So, but no, I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish here, and certainly this year was kind of an exclamation point. We had a Sweet 16 run back in 2018, and that team,
I was on the call for those. So
yes, you were. Those big
those.
wins, beating Auburn there to go to the Sweet 16 out in San Diego, and I thought that team had a chance to go to the Final Four. Dante Grantham, really our best player that year, tore his ACL at the end of the season and didn't get to play in the tournament. And so I know it can be done. I'm just really proud of the kind of kids we recruit, kind of program we have, graduating all our players. We just got my grades. We had a 3.2 team GPA this year. I mean, just phenomenal. Our guys do all, are about the right things. I think our program is. It's why we've had some longevity, and our Clemson grit motto of just sticking with things and persevering and overcoming some obstacles, not being afraid to take on challenges. We really have tried to do that here, and the kids that stay, we think, really develop both on and off the floor, and our success this year really helps kind of set the tone for the future.
Don't you think that's Clemson? Because to me, you just described the culture from the top down with Jim Clements and Beth. And what Clemson has developed into from a cultural standpoint. You're right. It's not just football. There are a lot of things there that are working really well. Is that Clemson?
Yeah, it is. And that's part of why I've stayed. It's just, some of these values behind me on our culture of commitment, integrity, work ethic, sacrifice. Those are some things we talk about here. I think those things are about what Clemson's about. That my two daughters both graduated from Clemson. So, we're all in, as Dabo likes to say, and certainly bleed orange around here. But it's because we believe in the values of this place. I love, and I'm humbled to be the coach here. It's a tremendous honor, and to compete in the ACC like we do is, I love that challenge as a coach. But this place fits me, and I love what it stands for. We have tremendous alignment from our board of trustees to our President Clements, to Graham Neff, our athletic director. And that's why you see so many of our programs, being so successful. We've got all kinds. I mean, obviously our soccer team won the national championship. We've got all kinds of teams that are in NCAA tournaments and doing very well, and, top 20 programs all across the campus. So there's a reason. It's because of the values. It's because of the alignment. It's because everybody's pulling together, and it's really a special place to live and go to school and work. And again, I'm blessed to be here.
And we know that firsthand, the Antonellis do, because of Frankie's experience, his 5 years of school, and then his 2 years that he's lived there independently with support. I know you see him around.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you see him in some of the restaurants and places that he works. That is why the Clemson Life program has been successful, exactly what you defined. Families like ours can drop off their kid that has some challenges, some intellectual disability or physical disabilities, and know that they're going to be safe inside a culture that cares. It's amazing. Like Frank and I shake our head every day. Like we just can't believe what Frankie's been able to do.
Well, it's remarkable and unbelievable success stories all around, you know, the community. And it's to watch these kids go to school in the Clemson Life program, but then transition and to be able to live on their own in our community and elsewhere. Stephen Fleming was one of our first Clemson Life managers, and he's working with the Atlanta Hawks down in Atlanta on his own. I mean, just like, that's remarkable. You know, we just, it's so fun to see Frankie downtown, you know, living on his own, living his best life. I mean, nobody is happier. Nobody's having more fun. All those kids, I mean, they just bring such joy, and, you know, they're just so kind, and they always come up to you with a smile and excitement and so happy to see you. It's like, we could all treat each other like they do. You know, the world would be obviously a much better place. They're just so caring, and, the positive attitude and enthusiasm, it's remarkable that every day, and it's every day, they're all like that. Alex Evelyn was our recent graduate this year. We just had a little party for him downtown and went there with a bunch of the Clemson Life students and celebrated. And I mean, he just comes into every practice and is just excited and happy to be there. And it's just the gift that they give all of us is something that it makes you take a step back and make sure you think about your blessings.
They have all learned to be good teammates because they do pull for each other and they are happy for each other's success. And that's a good definition of a good teammate. And that's what Special Olympics is about helping them organize and socialize, be able to compete and train, to be able to hang out together and to find friends. And sport also gives you that confidence that you need. That's why this event for us is so important. That, you know, in year 6, Brad, we're getting ready to cross $1 million for Special Olympics, which is not something that I ever thought we would ever, wasn't even in thought in my conversation at all. When you think about Special Olympics and your experiences with it and what you've watched us do with this event, what thoughts come to your mind?
First thing, how proud I am of you and all that you do, and the voice you give, and the consistency of message. And, you know, it's just, I love that you're using basketball as a way to do more, right? I mean, that's obviously what we all try to do in our jobs and our lives, and understand, especially as we continue to get older and supposedly a little more mature. We have so many other, you know, responsibilities that we need to make sure that we're paying attention to. And to watch you and your enthusiasm, excitement is contagious. It's fun to be a part of it. It's fun to watch it. I'm just so happy to be a part of it, as small as it is, and to see you do what you do. And obviously the relationship that we've developed over the years because of your coming up here with Frankie and doing games and being around. And, you know, I'm just, again, you're the one that deserves the shout out, the kudos. You're the one that's making all this happen, you and your husband and your family. And thanks for making our community better.
Well, it's important to help other families, right? That's what we're doing. We've been able to benefit from it. Frankie's benefited from it. Frankie is a great role model for why sport is so important, because he learned so many lessons through Special Olympics. And we've learned a lot from you. And I always learn something from you, Brad. So thank you for taking the time today. And thank you for being such a great ambassador, not just for basketball, but for the ACC and everything else, and for leading from the front. The league is lucky to have you. Clemson's lucky to have you. And I appreciate your friendship.
Well, thanks so much. Always good to be a part of it. Can't wait to see you soon.
Kelly Ray Finley, the head coach at the University of Florida, to 24 hours, nothing but net. Kelly, how is it going, lady?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Look, we have crossed paths on the recruiting trail, on the basketball court, in a lot of different places, and I have admired what you have done at Florida and how you've continued to build on your program success. We have gotten to know each other pretty well through this process, and what I have learned about you is that you have a special story of inspiration that you would like to share with us. So share it with us. We want to know.
Yes, most definitely. Oh gosh, Debbie, where should I start? So I grew up and have continued to grow up with a sister who is incredibly special in every way, and it's really shaped who I am and who we are as people. And so my sister's name is Brooke, and she is just the light of every room that she walks into, most definitely. She has Rett syndrome, so she's nonverbal and does not have use of her fine motor skills. And so I just, from an early young age, my mom always knew that something wasn't quite right. And, I remember being 5 and 6, probably 7, and going to, every doctor's appointment, every speech therapy meeting, everything that could possibly be done. I remember doing all organic food and don't eat this and all of those kinds of things, everything that's going to work. But I distinctively remember a time where my mom said, okay, that's enough. Brooke is unique, she's special, she's loved, and she is going to go and live a wonderful life. And I'm currently traveling and waiting for her to come meet us on vacation for the shutdown. And my mom was totally right. She indeed has had a wonderful, beautiful life. But she's around our team a lot. They're very used to having her around. Helps us build perspective and just understanding. But she's done Special Olympics and all the sports and all of the things and horseback riding, just like all the rest of us.
Yeah, and that's what is so amazing is that, my mom always said to me, it's not just about Frankie, it's about everybody else around Frankie. And you mentioned the word perspective, which I think is so cool that Brooke is able to be around your team. I know she loves to compete. I know she loves sport. I mean, how could she not, right? With her sister, she has to love all this.
She does.
What do you think are some of the, because Brooke doesn't get a free pass, right? Like, people that have autism sometimes get a free pass because people don't know they're on the autism spectrum until there's a behavior that might indicate it. Like Frankie with Down syndrome, there's no free pass. There's typically very low expectation when they see somebody that has a disability, but we are finding, right, as a parent and as a sibling, that that's not always the case, right?
Yeah.
Tell us some of the things about Brooke that you have enjoyed being around.
Oh man. First of all, she just picks up on great energy. And so she's a close talker. That's very much why I am the same. I've learned that. Our team will make fun of me. I'm like, okay, it's all right. But she'll walk right out on that basketball court like, hey, I'm the boss. Where are you guys going and what needs to happen? We're in practice one day and she had enough, Debbie. And so she's like, okay, I'm watching. She's picking up on everything. And then all of a sudden, one of our student athletes, Faith, we're in practice and she goes running out the back door. I'm all, Faith. And she's all, Brooke's leaving. She said, so just fun things of that nature. I've really enjoyed, watching her horseback ride. She competed in the Special Olympics. Was the track state champion, but being in our family, like you said, my brother was a very competitive ice hockey player. And being in our family, she takes She takes all the criticism just like any of the rest of us, you know, a little trash talking in games, a little trash talking at the board games, all that. And my baby sister probably her, you know, Brooke's younger sister, we have a younger sister, Taylor. She's probably the one who really challenges her the most. To come on, Brooke, you got to do this. You got to walk. We're going on a hike. You know, we were on vacation last year and she's in a 3-mile hike, no problem, leading the way. Like, get up, let's go. Nobody's carrying you. Come on. So I think that that's just inspiring for everybody.
You mentioned that Brooke's not verbal, but there is a form of communication called body language, and there is an
Oh, yeah.
understanding. Like when you know, body language is actually the most important form of communicating. It's not always what you're saying, it's how you're saying it and using the proper body language to say it. What do you think you've learned from a communication standpoint that maybe through the lens of Brooke and what you've learned that has helped you on the sideline or helped you as a teacher in practice, something that has helped you as a coach?
Oh, wow. I mean, a lot, Debbie. That list is really, really long. A lot of people who maybe don't know my sister or our story ask, you know, I'll start with patience, you know, well, how are you so patient? Or, you know, well, we learned at a very young age that everything's not always about you. And as a coach, you know, just facial expressions, body language, contact, touch is such a powerful thing. And, you know, I use it with my team all the time. I am hyper aware to it. I'm very sensitive to it. And that is due in large part because of Brooke and everything that she's taught me, just in terms of how you treat people, eye contact. Eye contact is key. We cannot communicate if she doesn't have eye contact, right? Body language, you know, making contact with you, then going to where she wants to go. Oh, she's going to tell you, you know. But as a coach, I think, you know, just understanding that we have more control over our body language, our mouth, our words, what we say. I always tell our team, say what you mean and mean what you say. Not everybody is blessed with the skill of talking. There's different forms of communication, but I think so many times we take it for granted, Debbie. And so it pours over into absolutely everything that I do.
I look at my other two boys as siblings, to how they've grown up around Frankie, how their friends have grown up with Frankie, all the things that maybe we adapted or modified or whatever to make sure that Frankie was included. I'm guessing that you did some similar things with your friends growing up with your other siblings. You know, what do you think, having lived through that life and having a sibling with special needs, that has sort of empowered you to want to be involved and help us with what we're doing, trying to raise $1 million for Special Olympics?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, first of all. So thank you for everything that you're doing. Inclusivity is everything, you know, and like you said before, Debbie, competitors want to compete, and it doesn't matter what your needs are, what is special or unique about you. It's really a perspective and how you look at it. And so what you all are doing in order to have the opportunity, provide an opportunity to people who maybe otherwise might not have that, is really, really, really awesome. But in terms of growing up and you know, just being around, it was always Brooke's going to be with us. And so it might take a little longer, but this is what we're going to do. And so, you know, growing up a sibling of somebody with very unique special needs has been nothing but a blessing in my life. It's shaped who I am and how I operate, how I coach, in every single way. And so I just thank you personally. And come on, guys, let's raise that money. We can do it.
Right. This is where my inspiration comes from, when it's 2, 3, 4 a.m. and it's me in the driveway and trying to complete this task, because honestly, Kelly, you know this, it's not about the free throws. It's the vehicle to help share the message so that I can get people engaged and involved and want to help. And that's why it's so important for you to share your story, because Brooke benefits from all of your energy, your attitude, your willingness, and she's still benefiting from it. And so are Frankie and his friends and everybody that we come in contact with around Special Olympics. But it's just the pure essence of sport and teaching, right? Tolerance and inclusion. You mentioned it. It's just a whole new world out there for families like ours that I think the more awareness we can create, the better it is for everyone, not just our siblings or our kids, but everyone that comes in our space, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm so grateful for your time, Kelly. I know this is a busy time, and I'm so thankful that you took the time to be with us and share your story on Brooke and your family. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. And let's raise that money.
Let's go.
So today we are having our very first Three Rivers Region powerlifting competition. Very excited. We have 4 different counties representing today, and it's been awesome so far.
When you go to the same place every day, you lose some of that like magic, that feeling. And it was super neat to just see like the smile on their faces, and it just makes you appreciate what you have. For us being able to share it today is awesome.
It's fun in there. These guys get me hyped up. Like I want to join them too. Like it's a cool experience. It's fun.
To have the players here cheering them on, to see the locker room and the training room, it's just been an unreal experience.
It was a ton of fun being with these athletes and their coaches and families, and having our athletes around them. It was just a great time.
Welcome back, Dr. Joan Fallon, CEO of CureMark and one of our dear friends to 24 Hours Nothing But Net. It is so great to see you.
It's great to see you. You've been everywhere, and now it's great to see you. I guess you're at home now, so that's
it looks
wonderful.
like you're in the lab.
I'm at the office. Yeah, I am. It's a big work day today. It's a Monday, so
I hope there's no trademark secrets back there.
no, just a lot of work.
Yeah, tell us what you're doing. Tell us what your work is.
So, as you know, we've been working on this drug for autism now for like over 15 years, and we're finally at the end of the process. So very soon we'll be submitting it to FDA for approval. So we're very excited. We've had some great responses and great feedback, and it's been a very safe product. It's been an efficacious product. So we're very excited about that. And that's what we've been doing.
It just seems amazing in 15 years that you can be working on one single thing as long and as dedicated as your process has been as the CEO of this idea, right? That is going to come to fruition. What is the requirements for it to be able to get to FDA in layman's terms?
So it had to pass, efficacy with patients, and then it had to be safe. So those are the 2 requirements, and there are very specific things they want you to do in that process. And so then you have to manufacture it to make sure you can manufacture it. So it all kind of comes together. So we've been working on all of that for such a long time. And, and it requires persistence and faith and a love for what you're doing, right?
Yeah. Where does that love and passion come from your ability to put this idea to paper and then to do all the things that you've just described, which I know are no easy task?
So I think it comes from the kids, right? I mean, that's what it's about. Our hashtag is it's all about the kids. I didn't do this to like run a pharma company. I did it because I thought maybe it could help some children. And that's what my passion's all has always been about. It's been about since I was little. It's been about children, medicine, and anything with a ball. So those 3 things are really what I find are my passions, and they've been that since I was little.
I know that's true because when I first met you, it was at a baseball game, and I know you're a big Yankees fan. How did your love of sport combine with your ability to be a CEO of a company come together?
Well, I know that you run camps and your motto is build, serve, and empower, right? That is the key to all of it, I believe. I believe that leadership, a lot of leadership learnings come from sport. And I'm so happy to see women's sports now finally getting to where it needs to be, or it should have been a long time ago. But it took people like you to keep pushing that. And leadership is not just about people holding flags. It's about solving problems and being able to accomplish things. And your love for Special Olympics and all of that is all about empowering and building and serving. So I feel very honored to know you and to support what you're doing.
I'm amazed at women like yourself who are such great role models for somebody like me. There were so many people that came before me, but then there are people like you that are still leading the way, that are still empowering others. And you run a gigantic company that I don't have any idea how that comes together. Explain to us a little bit about that leadership component and how many employees you have, and describe your company a little bit, because there are a lot of people tuning in because they're going to be really interested in this new drug coming out that want to know how it's going to help families.
So I think that, we started out tiny and we're still sort of tiny in the realm of big pharma, but we have tremendous resources that we've employed all of this time. So for example, we have consultants that we talk to, if not every day, every week, people who've been on this journey with us for a very long time. And so being able to manage all of that outsourced part and then all of the internal part has been challenging. I didn't know anything about business when I started this. Literally, I did not. And had some great mentors. Mentorship is really important. And I've been able to make it all work. And sometimes it took, there basically are no drugs for autism. There isn't anyone that works on the actual symptoms. And it's a gut-brain drug. So people are like, gut-brain, like, what's that? Of course, 10 years ago, people were questioning sort of, how could you even think that? And now, of course, it's much more in the mainstream around medicine. And so I made a discovery. I took it forward. I raised money to do that, a lot of money, and told everyone that I would give them the best possible chance to get this drug to work. And we've had the cooperation of all kinds of phenomenal physicians and nurses and across the country who've done these clinical trials for us. We had a big paper come out in JAMA in November talking about not just our findings, but how we can look at these neurodevelopmental conditions in a different way. People try to solve one little problem at one moment in time, but neurodevelopment's not like that. It needs a cascading effect and reversal of changes that didn't happen at a younger time. So it's been a challenge. I feel like I'm blazing some kind of new trail every day, but it's for the kids. So that's why I do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's remarkable each time I sit with you. I learn something different and I learn something new. Frankie has Down syndrome. He's not on the autism spectrum, but we have a lot of friends that do have children and young adults on the autism spectrum. And when I listen to you describe what would be a new drug that has never been in the market, that is something that is going to help families, tell us how it's going to help families, what you expect through your clinical trials that you will see.
So I think that autism is a spectrum. So not every child changes in the same way. But what it gets them to do is to be able to, for example, reducing their irritability and agitation. Once that changes in their hyperactivity, then they're better able to communicate and then better able to socialize. So that's kind of the cascade of change that we saw in varying degrees with each child. So, autism is a very big problem across the globe. I was in the Middle East in the end of last year. They have the highest incidence of autism in the Middle East. but it's a global problem and it's just getting more and more. So hopefully this can not only help families and children, but it will spur on other research. There needs to be other things developed. And when someone could, it's one of my big pet peeves is that not a lot's developed for children. Drugs are usually developed for adults, and then they try to retrofit them into a child. For us, we developed it for a child. So I think it's about spurring it on, getting more research, more help for children with all kinds of condition, whether that's Downs or autism or any of the numbers of things that affect young children.
You mentioned communication and the ability to communicate, which allows you to socialize. I am 100% behind that. I know in the early stages with Frankie and the IEP process, I thought communication was the key to everything, that if he could communicate, that the other kids would play with him. They wouldn't ignore him on the playground because he couldn't speak or he wasn't able to physically or body language communicate. It's such an important component for their development as young people, young children. Is that true? Do you believe that? Is that
way ahead of your time? You're way ahead of your time because it's the key to all of it. And in 2017, FDA held a big meeting for parents and caregivers and people for autism. And they did this big polling. And overwhelmingly, the numbers of things that parents and caregivers want to see change for their children was communication. If my child can just communicate with me, and it doesn't even mean to be full speech. Sometimes it's just a gesture. Sometimes, they don't have receptive language. They have expressive, but they don't have receptive language. So all of that improvement can really make a big difference. So you are absolutely right. It's the key to everything really in life. It's the key to stopping wars. It's the key to healthcare. It's the key to all of those things.
Solving daily conflict, overcoming adversity, taking care of a challenge, the ability to communicate. I'm with you on that. So, Dr. Fallon, we just spent a whole bunch of conversation on education, right? The academic side of what it means. Let's talk about the entertainment side of the autism in our country and Love on the Spectrum, the show that Netflix has put out. I know you've seen the show.
Yep.
Frankie has a little cameo in there because Tanner is his roommate. And the things that Tanner and Frankie have been able to experience have been incredible, that Frankie has been able to tag along with Tanner in a lot of different things. When you watch the show, and those that haven't seen the show that are aware that it's a show about young adults living on the autism spectrum, trying to find love, trying to find friendships. When you think about that show, what comes to mind about what you're doing in all the 15 years and the 2 decades that you've spent trying to help people be able to communicate and have a full life? Because that's what we're leading towards here with what you're doing. How does that all come together for you?
Yeah, it's a great question. Life is about others and being able to be with others, whether that's love on the spectrum in that way, or friendships, or all of those things are key to our happiness, right? And so being able to give an individual as much functionality as possible, as much ability to communicate, as much ability to look at another person and have some empathy and understand what they are feeling or thinking, those are really important things. And, some parents described in our trial with the more severe children that they don't even hug them or call them by their name. And in some cases that was able to happen, as part of the trial. So just that little bit makes a big difference and gives people opportunity to have human connection. And that's what we live for, human connection.
Maria Shriver wrote a book, Something's Wrong with Timmy. I think that's the name of it. I'm trying to remember because you've just made me think about what we're talking about. And the story is about a little boy that has Down syndrome that no one, kids would come home and say, what's wrong with Timmy? He doesn't talk. Or what's wrong with Timmy? He doesn't do this or that. I took that book, and every stage along the way in elementary school, I handed it to whoever was on our team, whether it was a therapist, OT, PT, teacher, aide, lady in the cafeteria, front office, in the elementary school, whoever was on a day-to-day basis in contact with Frankie. And I handed it to them and I asked them if they would read it and then sign it. Because to me, that would mean that they understood the book was about how to help this young boy navigate elementary school with everyone around him. And it wasn't always about him, it was about everyone else around him. And I look at Love on the Spectrum and it makes me think about that it is must-see TV. It's like, if you watch this series, you learn so much about people that are living with autism and how you can help them cope, or how you can balance your own interactions with them so that they're not offensive and that you're not afraid and that you're willing to try. And I just think it's remarkable when you look full circle at what you're doing and how you're going to impact so many families. We're trying to do the same thing, right? We're just trying to help others.
That's right. And the thing that people forget sometimes in the midst of all of the difference in some children is their talents.
Right.
These children have amazing talents that get overlooked because they don't do things the way I would do it, or maybe you would do it. But it doesn't mean they don't have tremendous talents. And I know Frankie, and Frankie's got amazing talents on multiple levels. And so he's the perfect example of that. And, you know, and your family has nurtured that for him. And that's what it's about. It's about that for even neurotypical children, but even more so with children who have differences. So it's important.
I don't know what awards there are out there for people like you that are doing groundbreaking work for many years, but whatever that award is, you deserve it. Because every time I talk to you, Dr. Fallon, I'm amazed at how much you have helped progress, you know, just the progress, you know, and you've pushed things forward and you didn't take no. And I can't even imagine the challenges that you face at the highest levels of government and everything else, trying to do what you're doing. I admire you so much. That's why every year I ask you if you'll come back, because I know there's something out there that you're doing that we need to know about and we need to share it.
I really appreciate that a lot. And, you know, I admire you as well for all of the, you know, you break ground every time you're on television, every time that you do something, every time you move Frankie further along in his journey, or you're shooting foul shots. I was watching you doing burpees this morning. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but I'm still going to take you up on that offer. You're going to take me to a Yankees game sometime, right? We're going to go to
anytime. Happy
give
to
me
do
the
that.
update. How the Yankees doing?
They're doing pretty well. They scored 15 runs in the last 2 games. Let's see if they can keep that up. But you know, two Januaries ago, I met Anthony Volpe at the spring training facility. He was there early, and I said to him, do you know that all of the Yankee Nation is waiting for you to come? And in his typical humble way, he said, no. I said, you have no idea that like the entire New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut, we're all waiting for you? He's like, no. And I said, well, the next time I see you, I'm going to remind you that I told you that, because you're going to be in a very different place. And so, you know, even someone like me can empower a young person. It's always important to do that. So I'm happy for that. So,
well, I'm grateful for God putting me in your path, and for us being able to share our collective experience around trying to make a difference for families like mine, and for people on the autism spectrum that absolutely can't wait to see what this drug will do for helping them manage and navigate their own lives. So thank you, Dr. Fallon. I am so grateful. I'm glad you could be back with us on 24 Hours Nothing But Net.
I'm excited, and I'm happy to, you know, keep going and watch you there in the driveway.
Status quo has never been a comfortable place to be. You're always looking for ways to improve. You believe that wins, championships, and glory are just on the other side of hard work. That's why at Dr. Dish, we start with reps and go beyond with an experience packed with goal setting, motivation, competition, and advanced training. Because when it comes to getting better, we don't stop at good enough. We push beyond.
Free throws every hour for 24 straight hours from her driveway.
When you sent me the text about jumping on this call, I was all for it.
Joy of finishing that race or finishing whatever activity it is.
Have you do this challenge again and raise this money for Special Olympics.
It has been as a result of Debbie Antonelli. So we are here to support her in every way that we can.
And you know, folks alike, learning is for everyone.
If I could hit 1 or 2 free throws out of 10, I'd be happy, not to mention 100 an hour.
That's exactly why we're trying to raise money for Special Olympics.
Special Olympics gives a sense of belonging.
And push-ups and free throws
and literally, I'm surprised your arms didn't fall off.
I think we're supposed to give. I think we're supposed to help.
Deb, we got your back. You go get them. Put them all in the basket. Okay? Why were you trying to teach Frankie defense? We don't talk about defense around here.
A penny for 2,400 free throws is $24 for Special Olympics. I can do that.
And so that's why it's important that you believe in these young athletes.
If I cannot win, let
Playing pig. Okay, she got it. Okay.
It's life's experiences. It's who you are.
I am not out there building a house. I am making my free throws.
Hoops. There it is. And thank you for supporting this Special Olympics.
And again, I think just a lot of it is in your perspective.
I think it's so important to interact with people that you maybe don't know or don't understand, or
where would I be at? Where would I be competing at if it wasn't these people that work hard to make this
It's
happen?
really fun for me to be, supporting Special Olympics. And
I want to not only complete the task, but I want to do it at a high level, because the better that I can shoot it, the more attention it brings to Special Olympics.
It was just thank you guys so much for everything.
Thank you for supporting the 30,000 athletes.
And I want to do more here at NC State because we need to.
People are rallying together to try to make a difference for those that really need it, and the Special Olympic community really needs help.
I think that's something I've kind of learned over my career, not always needing to make the home run pass or the hero shot.
I agree with you. I mean, we talk all about the but people want to see it go through the net. They want to see it, and that's what you are all about. And so if they could just pass on a little bit, it's not how much you have, it's what you have and how you use it.
Hey, boom. 7 a.m. on the East Coast. People are waking up, having a cup of coffee, tuning in, wondering, did we stay up all night? Yes, we did. We did, and we made free throws all night, and we're at 7 o'clock hour. I don't even know what number that is, but we've got several hundred left to shoot, so you have plenty of time to donate if you have not. Please consider a donation to 24 Hours Nothing But Net, 24hoursnbn.com. It will go a long ways in helping a Special Olympic athlete. Okay? Let's see.
Couple practice.
Get a little warm up here. There's one. You guys got it? 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 44. 45. 46. 47. Music. 47. 48. 49. 50. 50. So I can hear it, please. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. Oh, it's off. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. Get there. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. Okay. Good job, Sanchez. Good job. Good passing. Okay. All right. Here we go. Come on, y'all. You got to help us out. 24hoursnbn.com. Please consider a donation to a Special Olympics athlete and help them train, organize, socialize, compete. They want to compete. They want to be on a team. They can't do it by themselves. They need your help. Coming up next, this is a star-packed hour. Caitlin Clark is going to be on the last part of this hour. At the top is going to be the head coach at the University of Maryland, our dear friend Brenda Frese, followed by one of the best Special Olympic athletes in all of the state of Texas, Tank Shottle. Caitlin Clark on the bottom. Hit it, William.
I don't have any problem saying this. Brenda Frese has been one of my longtime 30-year-plus friends in the game. I love Brenda Frese and everything that's Brenda Frese because I know her heart, I know where she came from, I know how hard she works, and I know how successful she's been in helping young women in our game and winning at the same time. Coach Frese from the University of Maryland, thank you for being with us.
Hey, Debbie, it's always great to be with you, and the feeling is mutual. You know, we go way back, and you've watched me growing up in this game, and you've just been a huge mentor. So I'm happy to be on today.
You say that, and I would say the same thing about you. I think the first time I met you was an assistant at Kent State.
Accurate. Yes, long time ago.
I don't even remember what year that was, but I do remember that's how far back our relationship goes. So Brenda, you and I have, as mothers, we've watched our families grow up. We've watched our boys develop into young men. Our mothers and our families, we all know each other. That's okay in our game because right now our game has become very much transactional, not as much relationship based. I love the relationships that I have in the game. I hope that I don't ever lose those. How do you feel about relationships in the game right now?
Yeah, it's the reason why I got into coaching was because of the mentorship and the relationships. I do think it is getting harder and harder. I think with great intentions, I have to, work to be able to sustain those relationships, and they're coming so quickly. Clearly out of the portal when you have players that come in for 1 year or 2 years. You're kind of having to learn the history of a player very quickly compared to, a high school kid when you have years to, be able to develop that. But at the end of the day, things are where they're at. And so, I'm going to do my best to be able to adapt within those changes. And at the core of who I am, I'm still going to develop those relationships, whether I have somebody in our program for 1 year, 4 years or 6 years. I'm going to have great intentions to be able to develop those relationships as best as I can.
You've had a lot of success under your coaching tree of putting people out into the business and other places, whether it's women's basketball, the men's side, even the WNBA and the NBA. So the way the landscape of the game is right now is you don't want to say this, but I will say it. There's a free agency component to it, and you're constantly evolving your team. Like every year your roster can turn over. It's just the way the game is. When you look at what you've been able to do over the course of your career, what would you say are some of the staples that have allowed you to be able to each year have success winning with no matter the personnel that you have on the floor?
Well, I think it's you know, top down. I do think we're very intentional as a staff of you know, that mentorship, and you know, it starts at the top. It goes all the way down to you know, having just a tremendous staff that understands your values, your system, your program. I'm really fortunate. My assistants have been with me, you know, between 5, 6, 7 years. So you know, you're able then, when you have rosters now that really are changing, it's like having a professional roster every year. You're going to have a lot of changes that come in. So it's even more important, I think, that you have stability within the ranks of your coaching, you know, to be able to kind of live out, you know, the core values of what your program is about. So I do feel very fortunate, year 22 here at Maryland, just to have some of the best on my staff.
Okay, I want to shift to the boys because I love your boys, Marcus and Tyler. I've watched them grow up. I feel like I have watched you raise your boys in a similar way to our way we've raised our 3 boys. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with boys, right? Tell us a little bit about something your boys are doing right now. Like, where's the transition for you with them becoming young adults?
You know, I think most people find it really hard to believe that, you know, they have their learner's permits, so they're driving now. And I think, you know, that kind of blows people's minds, that the fact that these kids were, you know, just infants, and they remember me rolling around in the chair at Xfinity, being pregnant with them, and now they're driving. So, but I feel, you know, just an immense amount of gratitude in the fact that, you know, our job is to grow up our kids. You've already done that with yours, and I find each stage really, really exciting. You know, just helping them, mentor them into adulthood. It's a fun stage. I mean, they are so locked in of our roster and who we're recruiting, and you know, sending me things on social media, and you know, they are giving ideas now with the AI and what should go on. Like, you know, it's a really fun, engaging stage. So, you know, it kind of keeps me really young at heart. It makes me very relatable to the kids we're recruiting, just because of their age level. And they still tell me every night when they go to bed that they love me. So at 16, I'm going to take that, call those major wins, and bottle it up as long as I can get it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If they can show any empathy towards their mother as they fight through young adulthood, take it as long as you can get it, because it is special and few and far between on my side. My guys are all in their 20s now, so they're all grown up. You mentioned social media. I think unofficially, you were way ahead of the curve, because you were doing things behind the scenes and showcasing your program in a way no one was willing to do. When you think about at that time, when you would allow a camera in the locker room or in the birthing room, or do the things that you did that people thought that you were crazy, today it's so commonplace, right? I mean, how would you say you've seen all of that change and evolve, and how have you evolved inside it?
Yeah, I think, you know, we were ahead of the curve, and, you know, allowing that kind of access. You know, I've had feedback where, you know, it's awesome when people walk up to me and they say, "Oh my gosh, you're exactly who I thought you were from what I see on social media." So, big compliment. I hope that it's opened up the doors for other coaches to understand, to, you know, be comfortable, be confident. And you know, it allows you just in so many more, we all see now with social media, like the ability to send out a tweet or a post, and you know, through the access of television, there's so many mediums now that we can get out to so many people, not just in your own little bubble, you know, for us here at Maryland, but you know, nationally, internationally. I mean, it's incredible to watch things go viral. You have to be careful, you know, there's a lot of great things and some things that can be impacted as well. But when you can utilize it, you know, in a positive direction, it's just great for women's basketball, for our program, and to showcase who you are.
You never take yourself too serious, right? I mean, when it comes to social, you do have to be careful, but you have been putting out some funny stuff lately. You know, where's the genesis of all Dancing Brenda and all the other fun things that we've seen? I mean, I'm cracking up when I see it because I just know you and I know you're having fun with it. And I know you're not taking yourself too seriously, but that's where the kids are these days, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, I credit our staff. I mean, during the season, we had some event and it was a hashtag come party with Brenda. And then, you know, our staff and our video guy, Joe Glowacki, you know, really came up with the AI and the first dance. And that just kind of exploded with people. And then really out of that, I mean, my two sons jumped on board and they were finding things and, you know, kind of tasking, you know, the video to, hey, can we do this? And the latest one came from Marcus where he, you know, came down and was like, hey, what if we add 2 players with you? And then the execution goes to our video director. He's Joe's Glowacki. He's one of the best. And he was like you said, a former manager for us who's worked his way up through the ranks and, you know, bleeds Maryland, graduated from here, and the passion. And you see that within our staff of just how everyone's just so prideful, you know, within this program.
Yeah, and your boys, that's apple not falling far from the tree with your husband's background, Mark, and some of the things that he's done. How much does he get involved in helping the boys or encouraging them, or how much conversation? Because the 3 of them right there is like, that's their own little brain trust, I'm imagining. The 3 of them come up with stuff that they present to you, probably at dinner, that just cracks you up.
Well, you know, I put more on the boys. Mark has kind of gotten off of social media, so he's more of the reader of information. He seeks knowledge and information, where the boys, you know, my husband's not going to get on TikTok or Snapchat. You know, Mark's going to stay. So, you know, I'm kind of the one monitoring all of that within the family, but it's a team. So, you know, he's doing all the information and finding different things from that end. But you know, I would say that the teenage and what's hip and, you know, the music and all of that is definitely, you know, the twins.
All right, so I don't want to pass by the driving part of things, because I'm sure that as a passenger in the car, there's probably things that you say or that have happened that you are, you know, holding your breath because they're boys and they're learning how to drive. Are they each going to have their own car? Are they going to have a schedule of how they operate with one car? I mean, how are you going to balance all this out for those 2? Because I know they're busy boys.
Yeah, well, you know, originally, yeah, I thought they were going to share. I have changed my thought process with that recently within the last year, because, you know, I wasn't a twin, and, you know, cars were passed down in my time from me to my sisters. And so I don't really feel like you should be penalized being a twin. So they will have their, and they're in different friend groups, different activities. So they'll have their own car. You know, recently, 22 years here at Maryland, I think my last car accident was in college, and I ended up sleep deprivation through this portal going down 95 about 3 weeks ago and rear-ended somebody. And luckily it was, you know, and you know, nobody was hurt, and it was just, you know, nowadays, anytime you hit somebody, it's, you know, expensive, but they will not let that end. They now, you know, feel like they have a pass for anything that happens. The timing was very poor on my part. So I have not lived that one down. I don't think I will. So hopefully that's the only accident that takes place in this family.
Oh. Well, let's pray for that. That's for sure. We don't want anybody getting in an accident, certainly not the boys. Brenda, let's spin it back to Special Olympics and your philanthropic support of my event. You've supported me from the beginning, even when the crazy idea was like, you're going to do what? And you're going to do, how are you going to do this? Because I get that a lot, and I'm still getting it as I get closer to that special age that's coming up. You know, once you qualify for AARP male, it's all downhill after that, is what I say. But when you think about your philanthropic attitude, why it's important for the boys to see it, what matters to you in that space, because I know for me, that's important for my boys to know what Frank and I decide to get involved in and where we decide, because I want them to have that legacy of carrying it forward as well.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. I mean, I go back to, my boys from a really young age have had two pals that, we sponsor, a child in the Dominican Republic, and they go back and forth, and they've done that from a really young age. Clearly, from our end, and our son Tyler having cancer, we spend a lot of time in that space. And Special Olympics, for me, and through our friendship, I'll say a couple things. Is watching what you've done has been truly amazing to see the difference that you've made in so many people's lives. And I know from us as a program, we sponsor Special Olympics and do a clinic every single year. And I know how powerful that is within our own program. We actually had an exhibition game last year, and all of the proceeds went to the Special Olympics through that game. So I know how near and dear it is to your heart, but it also, has impacted us to great lengths. And I can't say enough of just what you've done in making a difference in that space.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for your time, because I know how valuable it is right now, this time of year. There's no off season anymore for coaches, and you're working the portal and working the late night, burning the candle at both ends, I'm sure. And, for me, I don't know if you feel this way, but when the boys were little, it's hard to remember all the things because we're so busy all the time. That's why it's so important to cherish the time that you have with them now, because doesn't matter how old they are, they still need you. And thank you for your kind words about Special Olympics. It does matter, and it does help a lot of families. So we are grateful for your time, Brenda. I am grateful for my pen pal, Donna Fries, your mother, who is an awesome pen pal. People that don't know what a pen pal is should Google it and figure it out, because I bet a lot of people don't know what we're talking about. But I've enjoyed your family. I've appreciated all that your family has done for mine. And we thank you so much for being on 24 Hours Nothing But Net.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, really do appreciate it.
Boy, I'm so glad to have my friend Tank Shottle alongside us for 24 Hours Nothing But Net. Like, he is the star of the whole show, Tank. You have been with us every year on the live stream. Thank you for doing so.
Thank you for having me, Debbie. It's an honor for doing this for so many times. I'm happy to be back with you today again.
I mean, I'm so proud of you, Tank. You and I text about every day. And I have been so grateful to make your friendship and hang out with you and keep up to date on all the wonderful things you're doing. Tell us what you're doing right now in Special Olympics.
Well, we just had our track meet last Saturday in Baytown, and I took first in the relay and first in the shot put and second on the 100-meter dash. And then since that was over, I got 2 or 3 weeks from now, we go to San Antonio for the Special Olympics State track meet down in San Antonio on May the 16th to the 19th. And so I'm getting back into shape again, just getting ready for that 3 weeks from now, from there.
Tank, you take your fitness very seriously. And I know over the years that you and I have been friends, you have lost a lot of weight and you have continued to work on your fitness all the time. Why is that important to you?
Well, it's a key. Well, I mean, look, it's, I'm gaining a few pounds back up, but I'm getting it back down again. I mean, it's a tough process to deal with. I mean, it's not easy to overcome. It's a lot of work to do it, and I want to live a longer life, and, I want to stay healthy, and, I'll be 35 in August, and, I still want to be young and healthy going forward in my life, and, just taking care of myself and just go from there. And I like to share that journey with you, Debbie, and everybody that are watching this and from all over social media, that look, no matter how old you are, what your age is, you can, it won't stop you from working out, but it'll help you work out no matter, depending on your age. I mean, just never stop working out. It keeps you healthy, and it will make you feel great about yourself, for your body and your health. And, I think it's great that depending on your age, anybody can do it. You know, it's not about what your age is, it's about what you can do it. I believe anybody can do it. And
I agree with you. I'm one of those people that's older and I'm doing it and I'm trying to do it for the right reasons, right? I want to make sure that we celebrate all athletes like you and give you opportunities to compete and perform at the highest level. And you take that very seriously, Tank. And that's one of the things I love about you. You are a highly decorated, competitive athlete. So we're lucky to get you on the live stream.
yeah, it's no matter where your life takes you, you know, depending on your age, you know, you want to see, I do a lot of sports, so I always gotta stay active all the time. And now working part-time with the Sugar Land Space Cowboys, that gets me active, that gets me workout because I'm running back and forth, getting all the foul balls and the bats quite a bit during the game. But at the end of the day, you know, you want to take care of yourself and you want to makes you happy. And, you know, it's, you know, sometimes you just have to take it one day at a time because, you know, it's, you know, like I said, it's not easy to lose the weight. You know, you can gain the weight so quickly, but it's not easy to lose the weight. I mean, it reminds me that, you know, it's tough to quit smoking, or else it's tough to quit drinking alcohol or any of that stuff. I mean, it's all about taking care of yourself and your health. And, you know, you got to do what's best for you, for your future and your health and your career. I mean, that's depends on you. I mean, I'm rooting for everybody out there that are struggling with their weight loss or anything like that. I mean, you just got to take it one day at a time. And I'm rooting for everybody that are going through that process. And I'm rooting for all the people and I'm supporting all the people. And I believe anybody can do it. And I know I can, and I believe anybody could do it. I mean,
Tank, that's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed our friendship so much is no matter what, your attitude is always positive. You're always finding a solution. I have never heard you one time complain about having to work out or get yourself ready for the different sports because you play everything depending on the season. You've always had an attitude that has been positive and you're always willing to help others. That inspires me because I'm trying to do the same thing.
yeah, I mean, look, it's I've been doing Special Olympics for about 23 years now, and there are things that, and it's nothing against anybody, but you know, there's things I'm never satisfied with anything. You know, there's always things I can improve on, and you know, it's not everything's going to be perfect. And look, all the sports I play, you know, there's sports I play, there's strength for me, and there's some more weakness to me. You know, not all sports I do is not going to be perfect. I mean, but at the end of the day, you're out there having fun and give it all you got. I mean, that's what sports all about. I mean, you want to have fun. Yeah, we all want to win gold, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, we should be thankful to be in this position where we are now in life in general, in Special Olympics. And I think that the important thing is to not only to work out, to keep practicing and keep improving your sports. I think the important thing is to live every day in life that, you know, every day that you're not always guaranteed to do. Life is not always perfect. You're not always going to get what you want. And sometimes in tournaments, you know, sometimes you win gold, sometimes you doesn't. I mean, that's just the way life is, you know. You know, I mean, for me, you know, everybody's a winner. You know, it reminds me, you know, when you're playing NBA, Major League, or college basketball, or any professional sport, you know, we all want to win. But, you know, sometimes it's okay to take a loss. I mean, but, you know, it does hurt when you lose, but, you know, it helps you learn from it, improve your next sport, your next tournament, and you go from there. And hopefully it'll be a better result than you had in your previous loss.
Tank, as a young man living with a disability, how has sport helped you have a full life? Because you've got a job, you're working on your mental health and your physical health all the time. How has sport helped you?
It's because that, you know, it helps me to, you know, try not to think about what's going on in our country pretty much. You know, you want to do what you love to do. You know, I try not to focus on, you know, about politics or anything like that. You want to try to focus on what's ahead of you in your life, and for Special Olympics and for my job and, you know, everything that's ahead of me. And I love to stay healthy because, you know, when it comes to social media, I try not to take energy out of me because, everybody's going to have their moments when it comes to politics because it's just a waste of time. And it's not something I don't want to draw myself into that conclusion. But at the end of the day, you want to just stay active and take care of yourself and do what makes you happy. And, it's hard sometimes, but, we all want to reach our goal to our life. And, sometimes it's not easy, but at the end of the day, I want to not only to share my love with you and everybody in this country, I want people to know that, I want to share my health and my workout journey with everybody in this country, that if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I try to focus on myself, and I always think about everybody of their journey, and I want to join with them and help them any way I can, and just to give them hope and comfort and do what I can to not only to help them with their lifestyle for their health, but to do what I can to help them reach their goal, to get to their point of their life, and do what I can to reach their goal, and pray for them and do the best I can for them, to comfort them and root for them any way I can for their life.
Well, I know you do that for me because I'm not kidding. You and I text about every day, and I love getting a text from you. And it's just a simple telling me what you're doing or where you are and what you're working on. And I love it. I respond to you every time because you and I are friends, and I want to treat my friends like that. I do want to ask you about the Sugarland Space Cowboys. That's a mouthful. How much fun is it working for a minor league baseball team?
It's a lot of fun. This is my third season with them, and I'm very grateful to be part of this great Astros organization for 3 seasons with the Space Cowboys. They're part of the AAA team, and I'm very grateful to not only to interact with the guys, but to do the job I love so much. And I'm very grateful to be in this position, and I'm just thankful for everything I got, and I'm just having a great time. And of course, I'm off for 2 weeks, so I'll have time to get some rest more until they come back next month. But I'm just thankful to work at a baseball team, and to make everyone happy, make everyone proud of the organization, and I'm just thankful to be in this position.
Tank, if somebody was listening and was trying to decide if they should give some money to Special Olympics, what would you tell them to encourage them to try to give and help athletes like yourself and like my son Frankie and families like ours?
I want people to donate for Special Olympics because, we want everyone to compete like myself, and we want people to encourage everybody in this country that we want to continue to do what we love. And the donation will be great for not just for Texas, but around the world as well. And I think the organization of Special Olympics is a great place to play sports, and to meet athletes, and to meet you and everybody that have been supported for Special Olympics for over decades. I mean, it's something I'm very thankful for doing this for such a long time. And I mean, I'm very grateful to use my voice to not only to encourage people to donate, but to encourage more people to join Special Olympics. And I want all the family members out there that are watching this that, look, we're there for your children. We're there for your son or your daughter, whoever does Special Olympics. We're there for them. And, I know that some may not have that voice like I do, but I want to use my voice for them, that to encourage, hey, we want y'all to join with us because we're like a family. We're there to have fun and compete. And I want to not only to change the world, but to change your life, Debbie, and everybody's life. That, look, we all want to, athletes, including myself, we want to impact people's lives because, I want people to know that, I appreciate what y'all do for us as an athlete. But, when I think about my East Region staff from Special Olympics Texas or anything like that, it's all depends on us as athletes to make it happen. And I think that, to use my voice to share it with you and everybody in this country, that, look, we all want to continue to change the world, and, just to continue to impact people's lives. And we would appreciate if y'all can continue to donate us more money for the Special Olympics organization in general, and just hope, and I very appreciate for y'all for doing that. And I'm going to continue to impacting more lives going forward.
Hank, I'm so grateful that you have chosen your voice on our platform and helping us raise some money for Special Olympics and helping athletes like yourself get the chance to train at the highest level, because you take it seriously. And I know you're out there competing, but I also know that your overall general well-being has been impacted because you've had a chance to have teammates and to play sports. And we are thankful and grateful that you took the time to spend with us on 24 Hours Nothing But Net.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to be here with you, Debbie. I love you so much, and I'm grateful to be here. And like I said, Debbie, I'm rooting for you for your health as well, and for everybody. And don't give up, people, because it may take a while to lose the weight and get exercise, but I believe anybody can do it. And I believe you can do it as well.
You're the best, Tank. I love you too. Thank you for being with us on 24 Hours Nothing But Net. Well, this young woman needs no introduction. Her name happens to be Caitlin Clark. She's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. She's playing in Indiana for the Fever, and I'm excited as the #1 pick that I'm going to get to call a lot of her games this year. Hey, 22 games, Caitlin, for number 22. How about that?
Lucky number. It must mean good things.
It's got to be a good number. And I'm wearing my practice jersey that, we did a little jersey swap, and during the season, I gave you a Mia Hamm. You gave me this. I thought it was fair and equal.
If I would have had my Mia Hamm jersey, I would have worn it, but I'm living out of a hotel right now, so.
Well, as you know, Mia Hamm has something on its way to you. I hope, I was glad to be able to connect you guys. Two great people should be in connection. It is awesome that the two of you follow each other's career. And Mia did not know until I told her that you grew up with her poster on your wall.
Yeah, I did. I was a huge North Carolina soccer fan. My entire room was actually North Carolina because of Harrison Barnes and the men's basketball team. And then North Carolina women's soccer was obviously amazing. I had a book about Mia Hamm. I had a poster of Mia Hamm. Like, I loved her. I loved soccer growing up. So when you gave me that, it was kind of like a little girl moment for me.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a special moment, and it was fun to do that. Golf is the thing that the three of us have in common, right? That we can't play soccer like her, we can't play basketball like you, but we all can go out on the golf course and smash it around a little bit. And I think we're going to have to be able to do that coming up in October. I hope.
That's right. The Mia Hamm, Mia Hamm's tournament. But yeah, I need to work on my game before that. I haven't touched a club in about like 6 months, so it could be scary. I need to get back on my grind. But now that I'm playing during the summer, it's hard to get out on the course. But it's okay. We'll find some time to get ready.
We're going to give you a free pass on that one. You can practice whenever you want. I'm sure there's a little top golf action that you can hit once in a while to get warmed up. So how are you? Like, how's it going? Everybody is all Caitlin Clark all the time, and rightfully so. And you've handled everything with such grace and class. You're such an incredible ambassador for the game. But how are you feeling?
It's been fun. It's been a whirlwind. I think everything has moved so fast. And obviously, like, I decided pretty early on that I was going to leave college. So I feel like I was maybe the most prepared of the people that got drafted, of like, my life's going to change and having closure with the season ending. But then also, like, we played until the last possible moment of our season. And then the Fever had the first preseason WNBA game. So I think I maybe had the shortest turnaround time in the history of the WNBA, but that's what makes it fun. And also, like, nothing better than just going out there and playing. That's the best way to learn. So I've been thankful for that. And obviously we had our second preseason game already too. So, the next time we take the court, it's going to be the real thing. So it'll be fun.
It's exciting. Everything is exciting about the league this year. And I've heard Lisa Bluter say this a million times, Caitlin's light shines on everyone. It is true. Your light is shined on all aspects, and any way you want to measure the W in women's basketball right now, you seem to have the common denominator. How do you manage all of that on a day-to-day basis?
I think having a team and support system around me that helps me with a lot of this stuff, whether it's my agents, whether it's my parents, they take care of a lot of that stuff, so I can, keep my main focus on basketball and being the best player that I am. And then obviously during college, it was, basketball and school and getting my degree. So I feel like that's been very helpful, but also like I just try to remind myself how lucky I am to like be in this position, how fortunate I am. Like to me, it doesn't feel like a chore. Like I just try to soak in every opportunity that I have and get to enjoy it more than anything and not take it for granted because it goes fast and a lot of people would kill to be in my shoes.
Well, I enjoy being around you, and I'm not saying that I was there at the beginning because the beginning was way before I got there, but way before this incredible celebrity around you and this incredible job that you've done around the game. I am wearing my Clarkonomics shirt underneath here, because I am an economist at heart based on my NC State diploma. So I have to, throw that out there that, I've incredibly admired your ability to be this huge disruptor in our game. And that's a positive, because what you've done is you've made people change the way they think about the game, about the way they invest in women's sports. And, everyone can help solve our issue in the W by buying a ticket, watching the games on TV, buying merchandise, doing all those things. And you've helped push people that way. That's why I call you the great disruptor. You're a marketing genius. You got a degree from Iowa, from the Tippy Business School. You're a smart kid. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been cool. It's been cool to see, like, I know like the city of Iowa City had done like some study that showed like our team, generated like over like $80 million of, economic benefit for like hotels, restaurants, whatever it was in the area, just because of the amount of people that were coming into town and coming to watch us play, all throughout the year, which is like almost hard to like wrap your head around. Because like you're just going out there and playing a game you love, and then these people are coming to watch you. But like you said, like I think that's gonna be the reason that it helps the W grow, whether it's people buying tickets, whether it's the amount of games on TV. Like the Fever will be on national television, 36 of 40 games. Our first game will be streamed on Disney Plus, which is first ever time there's been a live sporting event on Disney Plus. So I feel like the different markets that we're gonna reach, whether it's the older generation or now, like obviously on Disney Plus, like you're probably going to reach a younger generation there, whether it's young kids or young boys and girls. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just expanding the amount of, the fans, whether it's young or old, male or female, that support the W. But also the biggest thing is just like buy the tickets, come to the games, sit in the stands. And you're seeing that obviously with, our game in Dallas was sold out last night at a preseason game. We had 13,000 people. So, tides are definitely changing across the board. It's not just for the Fever, but you're seeing it, at every single location of WNBA teams.
There's people that have come before me. There's people around my time. I've been on the air now. This will be my 37th year calling college basketball on TV. It sounds like I'm old, but I'm not. And it is amazing because I've been in many years. I've been in gyms where they could hear you on the free throw line. So this is fun. I'm like, it's about damn time. I want to ask you something about one of the most selfless acts I thought you did all season, and that was making your decision in February before the postseason to give everyone around the media landscape a chance to absorb it, and the WNBA to stop bugging you, right? And because you wanted to focus and streamline everything you were doing to get to the national championship, which you did. It's one of the most selfless acts, I think, that you don't get a lot of recognition for, and you should. I know it was strategic on your part. I know you love your teammates. Tell me why the timing of it was so important to you.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of reasons. I think I knew, first of all, like what I wanted to do. So I was like, why have the weight of the world on my shoulders? Why keep getting annoyed with people asking me? It helps our coaching staff recruit for the next year and know what they're going to need going forward. But also like my teammates and going through senior night, like I wanted to go through senior night where, it wasn't all about like, is this Caitlin's last senior night? Like I wanted everybody to know like, this is it. And then also like they got their recognition too. So it was all of our senior nights, not just about what I was going to do and if it was going to be my last and whatever, because that would have been the storyline going into that, if not. And then I think, just enjoying the NCAA tournament, like everybody knew this was the last run. When we hosted the first 2 games at home, people knew those were, our last 2 games in Carver Hawkeye Arena. And then as we went on our run, everybody still knew that this was going to be the end for this core group that has been there for some of us 6 years, some of us 4 years. Got to throw a shot at Kate, but yeah, I think it's just like, one, like I knew, so why wait around any longer, and two, like just give everybody the closure and the recognition that they deserve.
I love the history and the nostalgia combined. There is an emotional moment about everything you just mentioned about doing it with your teammates. So that's very cool. All right. So, you know, this is the 3rd year for you. This is our 6th year that we've had our Special Olympic event. And, you know, I've got this great picture on my phone of me standing there with you, and we both look like we're shooting the basketball. And I tell all my kids that I taught you how to shoot just because it's fun, right? Special Olympics, I know, is something that you have enjoyed participating in as a volunteer. You've been active, you've helped with clinics, you've done other things. You've helped us greatly by giving your time today. Why is Special Olympics something that's important to you?
Yeah, Special Olympics has been something that I've been involved in since I was in high school. You know, I was always involved in it there, but I think the biggest thing is, like, for me, like, sports was always a part of my life growing up, and I feel like that's something everybody should have an opportunity to do, no matter what sport it is or what level you're playing on, or, you know, how much you love it or how much you are invested in it. It doesn't really matter. I think it teaches you so many lessons outside of, you know, whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer, football, whatever sport it is. I think it teaches you so many lessons about life. But also, like, it's fun, like you make friendships, you get to do something that's active. So I think those are the biggest things. Like it's an opportunity for everybody, no matter, you know, how old or how young or, you know, whatever it is. And then also I think, like, it just teaches you so much. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, for me, sport has brought me my best friends, and it's also taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me a lot about ways I can navigate challenges through my life that don't have anything to do with, you know, sports, specifically basketball. And that's things that I'm forever grateful for. And I think everybody should have those opportunities.
I 100% agree with you. That's exactly it. What we're doing is providing funds so that these athletes can train and organize and compete and socialize, just like what you just described. They don't have the ability to organize on their own. And that's why it's so important that people donate. We're going to cross the $1 million mark in 6 years for Special Olympics, which, you know, I mean, when I first came up with the idea, I didn't even know if I could complete the task, to be honest with you. But the fitness is real, Caitlin. I mean, somebody told me aging's a privilege. I don't know. Struggling.
You got to get training. Come on.
I've been training.
At least you don't have a broken finger anymore.
No, that's right. Last year, my finger was broken, and that was the best shooting percentage I had. And I think, you know, like, it's self-correct and muscle memory, right? That's what shooting is, right? With your legs and all that. So, I mean, I'm just grateful for your time. I mean, I love spending time with you. I think you're cool to hang out with. I don't think people know the other side of you as much as I've had a chance to experience. And I can't wait for the summer. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and can't wait for the summer with the Fever.
Yep, go Fever, go Caitlin Clark. Thank you for your time. You're so generous, and we appreciate your friendship.
Of course.
There's partners, and then there's Dr. Dish. And without Dr. Dish and Jefferson Mason, I don't think I'd be able to shoot till my arm falls off in the driveway, because I'd be chasing the ball the whole time, right? The efficiency, the ability to train, my partners, Dr. Dish. I'm so grateful for everything that you've done for us, Jefferson. Thank you for being with us in year 6, man, 6 years.
Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday we jumped on board and started this thing, and every single year it's just gotten better and better and better and better. And we're just so happy and thrilled to be able to take part in such a great event. It's been amazing on our end for sure.
Well, who thought, right? We were ever going to be at this point where we're crossing or coming up on $1 million in year 6 for Special Olympics. I know how full my heart is. I can only imagine how you feel, having watched and helped from the ground level to see what we're able to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, again, 6 years ago, you tell me that we'd get close to $1 million+ bucks, I would say, oh, okay, maybe that's a good goal. But just, the excitement around it, I think, the cause is amazing. That's the number one thing, and to get so many good people, it's not only Dr. Dish. I mean, you're working with so many amazing people to make this happen. That's why I think it's grown, the legs and done so well. And again, for us just to be a part of such a great basketball event and obviously be able to give away one of our shooting machines is always fun.
That's a big key, right? So everyone that donates, no matter what level, is eligible to win a Dr. Dish shooting machine. And I always tell this story, that when I turned 50, I wanted a Dr. Dish, and my husband thought I was nuts. Most women want to trip around the world or diamonds or pearls or whatever. And at the time, it wasn't even a thought that we would partner. I just wanted my own dish so that I could train, and shooting's a good fitness exercise, but I had no idea it was going to turn into this. We've been so blessed to have your credibility, your backing, all of your support behind us, because it does matter. There are a lot of people in the business that are clients of yours and that are ambassadors of yours. Jefferson?
Yeah, no, we've been very fortunate to continue to grow as a brand. And I think it starts at the top. I always say it, our CEO, Doug Campbell, he does a great job with building culture from within, and it starts with him up top. And we've added so many good people internally, and that's led to us to have the opportunity to work with so many great partners at every single level, on the women's side, on the men's side, the college, the professional, all the way to the high school side. And not only have, we helped them hopefully become the best versions of themselves, they've helped represent us as a brand the right way. And at the end of the day, our goal is truly to help players reach their maximal potential, their goal to be a great basketball player at whatever level it is.
I walk around the basketball landscape in my career, and I'm, able to say I work for ESPN and CBS. I am a partner with Nike. Dr. Dish is one of my partners on our fundraiser and everything I'm doing in my life right now, because I think about it every day. And, when you can affiliate with a Special Olympics brand, it really does elevate and motivate other people to get involved, because we've got the right people around what we're doing. Everyone seems to take a little extra time to listen or may pay attention a little bit more. What have you found through our 6-year partnership with Special Olympics that has helped your company?
Honestly, that everybody matters, right? And that's what we stand for. Everybody should have the opportunity to do and be who they want to be. And, even my kids, they're starting to play basketball right now, and I hope the best for them. And I just want to give them the best opportunity to be great. And that's what we stand for at Dr. Dish. When we're creating the machines and building the features that we have, we're constantly reaching out to everybody. How can we encompass any type of person that wants to play the game of basketball at their level and help them excel? And it's just been great for us. And again, the brand, it's a great cause. We're helping people. We're doing good. And in a world right now where sometimes it's hard to find the good things out there, we're very, very proud to be able to work with you and do some amazing things.
It's emotional for me, right? I mean, it matters because of my family, but I also see how it has impacted other families and our effort to not just do it in South Carolina, but in other states. And one in particular is the state of Texas. The state of Texas has built out and is in the process of building 4, but they have one custom-made truck that has our branding on it, has your branding on it, and it has 4 Dr. Dishes inside it that they can roll up on a unified school or on a corporate sponsor in the state of Texas and get kids shooting, experiencing the Dr. Dish, experiencing what you can do to make somebody else's life better by giving a little